is filmed in front of a live internet audience.
I am riffing. Mitch is riffing. What more can I say? Straight riffing. Do you know how fucking desperate I am for some comfort in my life? I need that pillow.
This show is intended for mature audiences only.
I've seen a lot of dicks.
I don't know how much more disgusting this experience could get.
Are you really not having a good time?
I'm having a fantastic time. I just can't believe how disgusting you are.
I kept yelling, I'm not going to whip my dick out. We talked about that. I'm not going to do that.
Featuring your host, Mitch Marzoni.
I don't walk around going like, hey, I'm really weird. Look at me, I'm weird. As far as I'm concerned, I'm perfectly normal. It's a litmus test for freaky people.
And Teddy Tutson.
I'm a hate mercenary. Yeah.
All right. Hate mercenary.
Hater for hire. Hater for hire. I should put on video guys.
There are two victimless crimes, all right? One, jerking off when your window's open. Two, necrophilia.
I am confessing to a large-scale crime.
Okay, all right.
Right now.
Legs akimbo, engaged in sexual discourse.
Come on, man. What kind of guest are you?
It's archived for posterity.
Great internet.
So it'll come back to haunt you every day.
It's time to riff.
That is right.
Class of 2012. May God bless the United
That is right, bitches and motherfuckers. It is May 21st, 2012. Episode 61. I am your host, Reverend Mitch. It is time to riff the fuck on.
Obama style.
I'm terribly sorry that our president jumped in. He really likes the riff.
Riffing all the way to the Oval Office.
I'm mostly angry that fucking Ustream, a site where you go to broadcast, when you pull up their front page, just auto-plays shit, which is totally not cool, because, hey, try and fucking do something here.
Shout out to the leader of the free world.
Also, apparently, the president will interrupt your broadcast. So, hey, that's...
Greatest cameo of all time.
That also happens. With me, as always, is my co-host,
Love you, Joe Biden.
the hater for hire, the difficult Brown, Mr. Teddy TMI Tutson. Outside of all these loud ramblings about God knows what, how the fuck are you, sir?
I'm okay, man. I'm still standing.
Yeah, just kicking it,
Hanging in
doing your
there.
thing.
Riffopolis.
Word.
And, shout out to the people in the streets.
Right.
New digs.
People in the streets.
Ready to get after it, bro. Summertime and the living is easy. Holla at your boy.
You always give some speech. I have no idea what you're talking about, but that's cool. Our guest this evening is Mr. Mike Hume. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man.
Just enjoying the studio, man.
I'm given to understand that you're calling your fans, perhaps even just once on your Facebook post, humans.
The human race.
Yeah, I like it. I dig it.
Brilliant.
That's
bro.
what they are called.
That's brilliant.
I like it, and then immediately thought, I wish that Teddy had a strong following of gay, hairy men so that he could say, where my teddy bears at? Because I thought it would be awesome if all your fans were called teddy bears.
You know what? Maybe I will have someday a gay demographic.
Well, you just moved to West Hollywood, so.
I mean, I've been in West Hollywood for a hot minute, so now
Holding
I got
it down in WeHo.
Yeah, so I've been in WeHo. Now I got new WeHo digs. You know what I'm saying? Me and the lady. You know what I mean? We up in WeHo. Come holler at me, teddy bears. Find me in these streets. Drinks on you all night.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's the problem is you can't really be like, hey, let's hang out. You buy the drinks.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
You
know.
always gotta act like
know.
you're gonna buy the drink.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I bring the recreation, you know what I'm saying? You bring the libations, and everybody, we have a celebration.
For the nation.
A proclamation.
This is now 2 episodes in a row that has started with an Asian rhyming riff.
Yeah. Jesse Jackson last time I did, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Amy called you Jesse Jackson.
That's good.
We talked about the chips, things like this.
The spirit of the show, I like to be open to the spirit of various influential Negro leaders over the history, past, present, and future. So I like to leave that spiritual realm open.
Difficult Brown, words to live by.
I got you. Listen, I'm down. I understand entirely. I get it.
Well
I
done.
get it. I really do.
You're playing your hand very well in the new studio.
Yeah, doing what I can. It's a lot of... I'm still trying to make it so that I don't have to fuck with shit the whole show. And I'm getting ever closer. Theoretically, I can just leave the recording going and hopefully it won't fall apart.
Are we good this time? We good?
Yeah,
Everything going down on
yeah.
tape?
We've been recording since the very first moment,
All right, we're
and so we're okay.
We're good. Okay.
Nothing's crashed yet.
All right. Okay.
I could,
All right.
if either one of those red buttons here
Yeah.
turns green,
Everything's gone.
let me know.
Shut
No,
down.
Not everything's gone.
everything.
Just let me know when that happens. And this button here where it's black, if that turns red, you need to let me know.
Here's my question for Mike right now.
All right.
How long did it take you to come up with the human race?
It
play
took
on?
about
How high/drunk were you?
Once you
I-
realized you were building a fan kingdom.
Well, I just wanted to give back to my fans. I got a little fan club I'm starting. It took me about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I
The
was,
brainstorming session. Rap.
it was during a Facebook update. I was like, what do I call my friends? The human race.
Done.
Word.
That's good.
That's what they're
I
going to be
wish
known as.
see my last name. You know, some people's last name, they lend themselves very well to those kind of things. They're like people get referred to by their last name, like like coach style. Where they just yell
Right,
out your last
sure,
name.
sure.
You know what I mean? I
Sure.
kind of had a little bit of that.
It's like
People
Ruppel.
Right, Ruppel.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone just
Right.
knows Ruppel is Ruppel. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
Like I've had some of that, but like I've never really. It's like prior to this podcast, I never got the nicknames. Do you know what I mean? Like I never really had too much of just being referred to by my last name only. Even when I was in the world of sports.
Difficult Brown, words to live by.
You mean like that kind of nickname or what?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Precisely my point. But like I wish I had
Hey, it
one
sure
of those.
beats the nickname that I got.
Juicy white pussy.
That's no good. You don't want that.
terrible
You don't want yeah.
Introduce yourself that
Doesn't
way.
really-
You're definitely starting
Yeah.
off at the bottom.
Shout out to my man JWP.
drugs.
My God.
But that's good. Go ahead, Mike.
All my friends call me Doom.
Doom.
I'm like, yeah, Doom. It's like a play on Hume, like
Oh.
Doom, and I fucking hate that shit.
Maybe has that
really
been like
do.
your main nickname? Is that like
No, that just started about 2.5 years ago, I'd say.
Okay.
And I just
You don't know why
really-
that came
well,
out. Because Hume, Doom.
Well, we all went up to Point Doom to
Moon
hit golf
Doom.
balls off the mountain, off the cliffs up there. Point Doom, so like near the
Where's
beach.
that at?
Never done that.
It's
Where's that?
like
That sounds
set
like
'em
fun.
It was awesome. It was
You just
fucking-
hit,
It's called Point
Dude,
Doom.
messing
yeah,
up old
it's called
people.
Point Doom.
Damn, son. See, they knew how to name shit back in the day. Do you know what I mean? We just gave all our shit away to naming cool shit like stadiums. They knew how to fucking name a shit. You know what I'm saying? Point Doom. That shit is awesome. Fucking
Now,
the
is that like the
Coliseum.
official title for
That
the
is,
thing? That's
yeah.
not just
See,
something. All
it's
right,
not just
all
a
right.
fucking urban nickname, motherfucker. But now it's just we all our cool shit is just named after shitty
Citibank
corporations.
fucking- yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? All the cool bowl games got bought out by Gabe. You know what I'm saying? This shit, we don't name anything anymore.
I
We
know.
ain't got
Fuck
no cool
Wrigley
nickname.
Field.
You know what I'm saying? Don't you dare, brotherfucker. Don't
Although
you
who
dare.
knows? Maybe Doom was some
Don't
apples.
you dare
know?
bring a
Just
salient
Papa
historical
Doom's-
point that in no
Doom's-
way refutes my argument.
Doom's apples.
Don't
From
you dare.
Doom's farm.
When I'm at Point Doom, I like to have a bushel of apples.
Doom's farm apples. Yummy.
So that's how you got Doom.
Oh,
after
Granny,
that trip?
McIntosh,
after
whatever
that.
you got at
We
Doom's
called
apples.
Doom after that.
So did you have any other real nicknames though? Have you ever been a nickname person?
No, it's always just been Hume.
Yeah?
Everyone's been calling me that.
You get the last name going thing.
Yeah. Getting that famous.
I don't know.
Do you have people calling you Hume sometimes?
Hume. I get Hume a lot. For some reason. I don't
For
know,
some reason,
I don't know why. It's just,
Someone just typed into the chat, Bobby the Helmet. Does that mean anything to you?
It does indeed.
Okay.
It
What
does.
is
You know
that?
how it does mean
Now,
something
what is
too?
it?
Because you
Yeah.
can see like his
That was a nickname back in the
it's
day.
like
Bobby the Helmet.
his eyes.
When I
have
was-
this-
Did you, were you just
you can see it in the
were
eyes.
you prone to carrying condoms wherever you went? What's
No, I never use condoms. Everyone
Bobby
knows
the
that.
Helmet sounds like
That's terribly irresponsible.
Saturday
No,
morning
no, you just
cartoon
pull out.
puppet.
You just pull out. That's the key. Everything is curable.
Man.
Everything's curable nowadays.
So,
Sure,
so
yeah.
Bobby the
Except
Helmet.
AIDS and herpes.
Yeah, take some Advil. That AIDS goes right
know-
away.
do you
Stay
know-
away from those.
It's like
You can smell it out here.
Babies are a little bit tougher.
Before
'Cause
you
the problem with curing babies is both people have to agree on it. Could you imagine, like, if you were like, shit, I better take a pill for this chlamydia, and somebody's like, we're keeping it. You'd be like, oh, fuck.
Bro, you
that's
cannot
babies
put
for
chlamydia
you.
and babies
It adds
in the
color
same
to your
plane.
dick. So
It's, I
keep
mean, as
that
far
out.
as STDs go, I mean, that's
babies are not
that's
STDs.
the worst.
What are you
Yeah, they are.
talking
Well,
about? Where do we come around?
first
Babies
off,
are
they're
not-
sexually transmitted.
Hold on a second. They're
with
not
you. They're with you.
diseases.
They're with you for life.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a key
Can't
word.
get rid of them.
Listen, you can't just neglect the last third of the word to fit in your
Yeah,
argument.
you can.
You can't, you're totally allowed.
People
totally
are a
allowed.
disease. Humans are a disease.
Yeah.
We're like a parasite. This works.
Listen, Agent Smith, okay? Don't you fucking dare.
I smell you. I
Don't you
can,
dare.
your stink is on every.
Mr. Anderson. I'm just saying, bro.
Tell me, Mr. Anderson, what good is a phone call if you're unable to speak? Okay.
Oh my God.
Mr. Tutson,
Listen, okay.
why are babies not an STD?
They just.
That's a fucking STD.
They're a big inconvenience.
Again, imagine you went to the doctor and you were like,
does not make it disease. Now listen.
I think I got genital warts, and the doctor was like, well, you're going to have to take this ointment for about 18 years, and it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Now listen,
And if you
someone
don't
was
take the
talking
ointment,
about the
we're gonna put
bubonic
you in
plague,
jail.
okay, no one would be like, well, that's a big inconvenience. They'd be like, it was a disease, you son of a bitch. It wasn't an inconvenience. You can't, that flips out with a baby. You'd be like, that baby's a
But
disease.
humans.
But babies
Humans as a
aren't
thing.
Babies, though. Babies
is
No,
human.
it's
Babies is human, baby.
But babies aren't the humans that are the disease. They are more of a symptom. So you can't really put the blame on the babies now. You understand me? Babies, they're supposed to be pure and innocent. They don't know nothing about the broken, shattered world they're about to be birthed into. So how you gonna make the babies when the Chewbacca is living 7 feet on Endor?
I could make the same argument about any bacteria. It's not like it's out there going, I'm fucking up your shit for fun. It's like I have to live. You know how I live? I fuck up your shit. And I'm sorry, but I got to fuck up your shit to live. And babies are the same way. They're like, I got to suck on some nipples.
Ebola has embraced its diseaseness. Ebola has embraced its disease. Like, yes, I'm Ebola, and your eyes are about to bleed out through your head. Okay,
I'm sure Ebola doesn't have like an agenda.
It's
does. It's a single
seen
cell
multiple times, bro. I'm very well versed.
Dustin Hoffman is going to take care of the business.
I've read Hot Zone repeatedly.
I mean, kudos. Even still, my point is the number one reason to wear condoms. Don't be so damn selfish.
Supposed to be talking
it's
about
not
Bobby
about
the Helmet.
selfishness.
We've
it's not
let
about
Mike
this,
distract us.
Talk about Bobby the
Bobby
Helmet,
the
but I'm
Helmet.
just saying condoms not about the selfishness of like, hey, I'm not worried about diseases. No, it's about not putting more babies into the world.
That's why you pull out. That's why you pull out, Mitch.
Bobby the Helmet.
I would never take. What's the word I'm looking for? Contraceptive advice from the Catholic Church. And that's what the pull-out method is. Coitus interruptus, they call it. True thing. Go ahead.
Well,
why are you Bobby the Helmet?
Oh, shit. It's from high school. Me and my friends.
Yes, it is.
Me and my friends watched a little too much Jackass and decided to make our own called Dumbass, and we all needed names.
You did this, huh? You were one of those groups of friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you send in your tapes to MTV?
We did.
Yeah, you disregarded the fuck your disclaimer, motherfucker.
Sure. We got arrested multiple times. We all got hurt. It was
one time?
ridiculous.
Did you send in one time or repeated tapes?
Multiple times. Always with the same
Well,
response.
that's the fucking thing about those.
No response.
About the disclaimer is like,
You know what sucked?
hey, don't do this at home. But if you do it well enough, we
back-
might give you a show like it.
It was back in the day when all you had was fucking VHSs. There was no like fucking YouTube.
Yo, there was no like, and there was no like real nice small handheld cams that you can like fucking take.
All right, now the
Yeah,
same
the
person
big-ass
keeps
one.
yelling out milk bong.
Oh my god! You want to hear the?
Here's what I can say. Clearly, this is a friend of yours that's known you for a while, and they're desperate for attention.
That's true. I'm imagining
Because
that
they'll
is
type the same thing several times, as if
just to make sure you see it.
the
chat rooms are probably blowing up.
No, they're the only person typing.
Dude,
Once is enough.
hey, that's just.
I'm
the
not
members,
just gonna forget
it's
that
the
I-
members of the human race. You want to
Human race,
get
stand
human
up.
race.
Human race, stand up.
Represent. No, the milk.
I
bone.
never thought I'd say I'm angry at the human race before now, but like
Don't worry.
the human race is getting on my
Welcome
last
to
fucking nerve.
my world every day, all day. All y'all motherfuckers are looking around, Mr. Anderson. I see you.
Your stink. All right, what's this milk bong situation?
No, hold on a second. I want to know what kind of stunts you did when you were Bobby the Helmet. What did you do that? What
I'm
stunt
fine
did you
with
do?
hearing that story as long as this fucking human race doesn't keep yakking out
Mitch, hold on,
fucking
I
other things.
I can't
What is
control
the-
the human race.
What is the stunt that got? Was there a particular stunt that you did?
Which one? The milk bong was one.
Milk bong
it
was
was
one?
where we found out that you couldn't drink a gallon of milk.
Oh, you can't do that. I've
without
seen that in
throwing
real
up.
time. You can't.
So we decided that we should paint a
Half
bullseye.
a gallon, no problem though.
We should do a bullseye on my chest, right? And then we went to my garage and we found a funnel and a tube.
P.S. You pointed to your stomach. This is This is not your chest.
Oh, my stomach.
You know what though?
My chest.
You know what though?
Yeah, my chest
I
is
was
up
a little
here.
bit, I was a little bit
What
worried
is
about
great?
that.
Anatomy
The
gets
best
me,
part of
man.
that
I
is
was worried
that I
about
was
you.
totally, I was watching him do that, and I was thinking to myself, being like, he is slaying chest right now. But like, I was like, it took me like until you said it, I was like, damn, that is right. That was
Definitely not your chest.
I was totally pointing to
So
my
you-
chest.
the
So
worst
did
part
you-
though is that Mitch
did
blew
you
up your
mean
spot
to
on the
yeah,
podcast
I'm in
because
the
you could have
middle.
gotten away with that
Yeah,
shit.
nobody-
That's how you know
nobody
Mitch
saw
is just a
it.
vindictive
Did you
motherfucker.
mean to point
No,
to
I meant-
chest,
I meant
or did you mean to say
The
stomach?
word stomach.
I'm just curious
Yeah,
which
so-
body part. That's
so
all.
it was
That's
stomach.
the only reason why I bothered bringing it up.
So we're
because I need to know
16.
which
Yeah,
body
it's my
part we're talking
stomach.
about. Okay.
So we go to my
Your
garage.
stomach.
We go to my garage.
Bullseye
and
in the stomach.
We make ourselves an old-fashioned beer bong. But we're 16 and we're not thinking, so we just find an old funnel in my garage that's like used for like oil and shit. And we
wash
decide with a hose because that's all that we thought. That
Did
it
you wash
needed.
that funnel? Please tell me you
With
washed
a
it.
hose, with the
Okay,
garden
you
hose.
washed it.
Yeah, because
Okay.
oil and water are best
totally.
friends.
Yeah, that
Okay,
cleans
great.
everything.
Good job.
And then
Yeah, you know. That's how that
Fantastic.
rolls.
I do a gallon milk bong, which
Sorry
With
to hear
oil
that.
mixed in.
yeah, which I fucking do. And then my friend
you bought
decided
a whole gallon?
Yeah, well, a
Jeez,
little
that is
bit
a
less.
poor life decision.
And then
bro.
my friend decided to punch me in the stomach in that bullseye where I vomited all over.
Did you?
him.
So where were you?
They didn't have the wherewithal to stand us to the side
Well, the
and
whole
punch
thing
you.
was they want to get a running start because we're trying to make Jackass.
No,
We wanna
I get-
be-
They were
we wanna be
disregarding.
on
They were
TV.
disregarding the disclaimer there.
When you-
No, I
Disregarding
get the disclaimer. I would just think that you would immediately go, well, the
I
projectile's going to
think-
go forth.
Did you bong the
I should
entire
stand
gallon
to the
though?
side. Like I should run
how-
to
'cause
his
where were
left.
you-
Good portion.
So
A
were you still
solid
trying to
portion.
bong when you got punched in the stomach?
No, that was after. That's when I threw the milk bong down
Okay.
and was like, "It hit me," and I was already puking at the time, so it was just,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, the
I've
hit
s-
was unnecessary.
I've seen people
And then
do
my
the
mom-
multi-story bongs before. And
Oh, yeah.
it's an
The
Oh,
impressive.
I was like, why are you
It's an
doing this
impressive
Hail Mary
feat.
thing with
Yeah.
your hand?
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
don't
trying
know.
to show you.
All right, I
You know
got
why you don't do that?
What?
Because somebody might pee in that bong.
Well,
You got to be around people you trust, bro.
Well,
You got to be around people. Has someone peed in the bong? Oh, that's just
is
gross.
this what happens in this human race thing? By the way, they clearly got angry and left
He
the
was
chat.
mad at you.
They think that I thought I was serious about how angry I was. I was
well,
more like, just calm down.
way
We'll
to
get
go.
to it.
I lost a member of my fan club too.
Yeah, well,
Mitch has driven away someone
what
from
I
the human
fucking
race.
how it goes. Dude, that is nowhere near the first time. That may as well be my MO.
Put that shit on your tombstone. You've been driving people away from the human race all day. Oh.
That's how I roll. We were just on something. I was just remarking that. Oh yes, the peeing in the beer. Would that have been the kind of person who would have peed in your beer bong? And or milk bong?
I used to be an angry gentleman when I was younger, and I might have done some of those hijinks to people.
Sure.
But I've grown up a lot over the past X amount
So-
of years.
When
now
you say
those hijinks are on strangers.
okay, so
Well, that's
okay,
right.
when you say angry gentleman when you're younger, right? We're talking like normal teen angst, adolescent years kind of things, or just like, or were you like torturing animals in the neighborhood, kind of like, were you budding sociopath? Like, where in the spectrum? Where in the spectrum of young man
Teddy
teen
needs
angst?
to figure out how far away from you he should be
You
sitting.
know what I'm saying?
I'm coming up to you in a second.
Where like so where in that spectrum between like let's say like if you acted out at school they'll be like, well, I mean, clearly, you know, like he just must be dealing with something very traumatic right now versus being like, I'm sending you to a boot camp on a Maury Povich episode.
Where are you getting the idea that
Yeah.
schools are that understanding that they'd be like, oh, he's dealing with issues?
He's got family
Hey,
issues
Apparently
at
that's
home.
some like
Listen.
newfangled schools. 'cause
Listen,
every
what
school I ever
I'm trying
went
to
to was
establish
like,
the spectrum of a decent
What
kid
else
with
you
an
got?
angry streak and outburst.
yeah, but they don't
versus-
think about that. They just go, oh, you're
I
suspended.
had some of that.
Did you? You
Yeah.
fucking lucky son of a bitch.
I guess so.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
my
we
school was
just
all
got-
about let's blame this kid for everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got beat up, and they're like, well, it doesn't give you right to hit him back. And it's like, but
I'm not saying they were the most
Alright.
generous people in the world. I'm just saying, like, one time.
nobody sat down and was like, hey,
Listen,
tell us
you know,
what's
when
going
when,
on at home.
When some shit was going, they didn't say tell us what's going on at home, but they were like, listen, we're not gonna throw the book at you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we know that you like some shit happened, but like, we're not gonna throw the book at you. It's the first time. We're not gonna send you off to one of them fucking corrective
Yeah, like
educational
in
things.
Utah
You know what I
and
mean?
shit.
We're not gonna suspend you.
Well, sure, not on the first offense, yeah.
Even for wilding out. Some
Yeah,
schools
yeah.
would do that shit though. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't get those kind of breaks. So I'm saying
Private schools, maybe.
Well, probably.
So
now.
so where's your anger spectrum in your adolescence? What kind of range are we talking about here in terms of anger?
I was just an angry kid, just
Yeah.
short-tempered and just like to fuck shit up when I was younger. I was just
Getting a lot
on
of
to that.
fights.
No, not so many fights. Usually when I'm drunk, that's when they used to happen. Not so much anymore. I've been calm.
I keep
grew
thinking
out of
that
it. Was never a fighter though. I always use my words. That's what that was.
Okay. You trying to tear people down emotionally?
You need to get in
Which
with.
used to cause more fights. Used to get my ass kicked, right?
Yeah, right? Because you start hitting people when it really hurts, and they're just like, hey, motherfucker, we gonna go to fisticuffs now.
I remember I fucked this girl in high school, and this dude was like, "You're a fucking fag, Mike," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gay because I fucked your girlfriend." He just beat the shit out of me. He's a lot bigger than me.
Did you know that
yeah.
she was dating him at the time?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's half the reason you do it, right?
Yeah.
Is that I know. I
It's a
don't
lot
know.
funner.
I don't know. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
I never engaged in those.
There's sort of a there's a nice
You've never been the
there's that
mistress?
feeling of like
You've never been the mistress, Teddy?
there's a special feeling of smiting your
Yeah.
enemy via his girlfriend.
Yeah, it's
is
a
See,
great
I guess I have a
accomplishment.
different.
almost no better revenge in the world.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like I am very different.
Yeah, because no matter how much they hit you,
Yeah, you
they
can-
can't unfuck their girlfriend.
You can beat
yeah.
the shit out of me, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now listen. I do understand that dynamic as I recently watched the Notorious B.I.G. Behind the Music, and there was the whole. Thank you. You're gonna do your bad Notorious B.I.G. impression again. It's always amazing to me.
I thought I was spot on.
But it's good. It really does sound like Elvis is dying. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Notorious B.I.G. sound
Sitting
like
on toilet.
dude. Word Up Magazine. But so there was the whole thing where
1 o'clock, 2
Tupac
o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4.
Tupac
You know what I'm saying?
recorded-
More money, more problems.
Biggie was going through a split with his wife Faith Evans. They had
That's
a
a
separation.
really long title for a song that he recorded.
Yeah, I know, right? It's very, very, very petty.
So he recorded
So
some.
Biggie's going through a split with his wife Faith Evans, and then Tupac invites her to the studio. This is like right smack dab in the middle of East Coast, West Coast beef, all that good jazz, if you will. They do studio session, and then from there, Tupac takes it and just starts doing all these interviews and promos where he's insinuating that he had sex with Biggie's wife because they were still married. And she's talking about this on the Behind the Music, and she's saying how like she's at the hotel at one time, like her and Biggie were kind of talking about getting back together, and he came to visit her, and he's just fucking enraged, and she wouldn't open the door because she's like, oh my god, I have no idea what to do, and I can't explain anything. And then Tupac put out "Hit 'Em Up," where he straight up on the record be like, "You mad because I fucked your wife?" That's how he came straight out like that. And then, but so like that dynamic that you're talking about, like at like the highest level of a very trumped up rap beef, that was Tupac's like trump card of like, I'm trying to sell records. I'm gonna tell everybody I fucked your wife. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play that card on this. So like I get that level of vengeance. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to fuck with somebody, but like I've always been more of like the Count of Monte Cristo style vengeance, where like I'm gonna be real cold calculating, amass a great deal of wealth, build an island, and then I'm gonna go inside of your world,
Get your own
systematically destruct everything you care about, leave you with an emotional ruin. And then you're going to realize the financial ruin that will come afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because
See,
then...
but then while they're sitting on the ground crying and the girl comes over to like coddle them, you go, by the way, fucked her.
See, that fucking works perfectly.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you just devoted.
Yeah, that's a-
otherwise,
That's a little cherry on top of that.
Dude, you just devoted your entire life for vengeance.
And it was
That person
delicious.
won.
Yeah,
was
but
not
like
win.
at the end,
I
at
left
the
them
end,
in ruins.
Yes, but
I left them
but
in
at the
ruins.
end, some
But
girl
you
could.
devoted your
executed a
entire
master
life to it.
plan.
But at the
And
end,
it was delicious.
but it
At
took you
the
like
end.
30 years.
And there was 30 years of
Oh.
well
When
executed.
you just go bang and
just
But
shit,
here's the
business.
but here's what I'm saying. At the very end, if a girl still will come to their aid to be like, oh, I'm sorry that you got smited.
No one
and
will,
bested.
bro. That's part of the vengeance. I'm taking everything you care about, son. I'm leaving your
I know,
standing in
and
respect
part
of
of that
society
is
in tatters,
fucking that
B.
girl. you
No,
know?
son.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody
totally.
coming to you at the bar when
Totally
you got the
bad
lonely
shit.
face
Frankly,
on.
you don't have to say anything. All I'm saying is that just to
Is
know
to
it in
know,
your
yeah,
head,
you
knowing
win.
in your head,
You totally win.
you're like, ah,
Y'all wrong.
oh man,
You were wrong.
It's
You're
a-
about to devote 40 years to
wrong.
your enemy.
all I'm just saying.
You the reason
is
Tupac and Faith Evans ain't together today.
if they don't,
I'll devote 20.
if they don't,
Notorious B.I.G. Damn it, you got me all emotional on this bitch.
if they don't know that you fucked their girl, but you know, and
That's
then
just
she
so
knows,
weird,
sometimes
man.
better.
That is that weird and
knowing
see,
that information,
That's-
And
inside,
every time you see him,
oh,
you're like,
god, just like
That's
just
the
like
shit.
I have an ace
And she
that
knows.
you can't
She's like,
can't
Okay.
take away.
I want to pose a
Ace in
question
the
right
hole.
now. I want to
Put
know
my ace in her hole.
to the ladies
What up?
if they are out there in Riff. Is there a similar thing with the ladies in Riffopolis in terms of like women with
like
like
I fucked your man, that
right,
kind of thing.
like if you like hate a bitch, do you know what I mean? Like you just like I hate her.
Oh, yeah, I'm
so
sure.
much. I know that shit exists, you know what I mean? But
It's
I just,
gotta be, yeah,
I mean, I've
It's
heard.
gotta be way easier,
but I
too.
like, I want, like, is the dynamic a little bit different? You
Isn't
know
it
what I mean?
usually? But
It's just
see,
way
the thing
easier.
is,
It's just way easier.
way
I
easier.
It's way
feel like-
easier to execute your plan.
The girl's like, hey, I hate that bitch. Let me fuck you. You're like,
I feel
"Alright."
like women,
What happened?
it's more like I have your man. Like I took him away.
This is what my
Like guys are like,
my lady-
all,
my
look,
lady-
I just
yeah, we
need
don't
to
want
it.
have a
Yeah,
piece.
we don't want
But
it.
the chicks are like, no. I need the whole.
No,
the
this
whole
what yeah,
cake.
this is what my lady's explained to me. She's being like, it's more of like you see it and you're like, I'm gonna take your life. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like I'm taking the whole life that you built for yourself. I'm just like that's more of like the mistress, I guess, more like long term kind of thing. You know, where like I'm taking you out, wife. Do you know what I mean? But like I guess is that different?
I don't feel like mistresses.
When they're
set
like, oh,
out,
she's-
well, hold on. I don't feel like mistresses are setting out with like I'm gonna put my fangs in there. I'm gonna take this away like from you. As so much as I want this guy,
Being
and I don't
very
want
generous
anybody
to
else to
mistresses.
have this guy.
You're being very generous as mistresses.
I'm merely telling you the psychology is not I'm going to get this girl out of the way by fucking her man over an
No,
extended period of time and
it's
then
not
take him. It's more I want this guy to myself and I don't care if it hurts
No,
other people
The
on the
mistress
side.
is a cool woman because she knows that she can never have you.
no,
So
this is not
she's
what are you
just
talking
there.
about? No,
I'm dealing in a room full of delusional people that have no idea what's going on, clearly.
No.
The mistress totally knows that you're in a relationship, and she's
No,
totally down
listen,
to be the side
they
ass. That's
all,
all it
it's
is.
the whole thing of if you say the whole thing of you're gonna force them
Like
to choose
Yashana.
and you're gonna say
Or
is
whatever
it
her
me
name
or
was.
her?
Oh,
You're
it's
gonna leave. You're gonna leave. And then,
obviously
yeah, of course I'm gonna leave her for
yeah.
her. Of course I'm gonna leave her. Of course I'm gonna leave her. And then you make him choose, and he's like, oh, I'm staying. Like that's so like
that's-
that.
Yeah,
like
that's
there's
what
all. It's
happens.
built on a
Almost
delusion. Do
always
you know what I mean?
happens.
So like
Yeah.
there's no like any level of like oh well I'm fine just being this person on the side. I would say that the mistress who has that mentality is incredibly rare. I would say who's just like okay with being like no I'm a mistress. That's cool.
See?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
one, that's the
that's-
one you
there's
want,
Maybe in
though.
like
That's
France
the one
when
you're
that's
after.
maybe in France where
That
it's like
mistress
more.
is like, I'm cool with it.
You're
Totally
aiming
fine.
for you on
Yeah.
some Ashley Madison shit right now. That is like
Why are we pointing at me? Like I didn't say I wanted anything
No,
like
he
that.
said-
Are you on
No,
That's
Ashley
what you
Madison?
want.
You're on
That's
Ashley Madison?
I did check it out.
Yeah. Did
I
you
was
ever,
not impressed.
No.
First off, I don't trust any site that charges me for dating.
well is that the racket?
Yeah, because if you think about it, they have a financial incentive to not hook you up with anybody.
That is very true. So you keep paying the money.
Yeah,
Because once
exactly.
you get a date, you're kind of like, yeah, fuck it.
They also have financial incentive to not actually show you people that are currently active on the site. They have an incentive to show you people that that they can bring back to the site. So ideally, they want to show you matches that haven't been active for 2 years, 3 years, so that you'll convince them, hey, you should come back on the site. You know what I mean? And so you become kind of their what's the word I'm looking for?
Drawback in.
Recruiter.
Yeah.
You sort of unintentionally become the recruiter for the site by messaging people that haven't been active in a very long time. So that's why I don't really trust the for pay sites. And I don't know. And the thing is, because Ashley Madison had such a media blitz, I can't help but feel like so much of it is so many fake people on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
got
I don't
a
know.
beyond the weirdness factor of it already. It's got a real kind of extra skis factor to it. I feel like.
Yeah, but I mean that's
the whole
all their
point, though.
marketing thing. They're going for like, oh, this will get people talking about the controversy and such. Hold on.
They do the well. Didn't they do the thing when they tried to get a Super Bowl?
closer. I'm
It's just right there.
They tried to get a Super Bowl commercial a few
Yeah,
years
remember
ago.
that?
And
Yeah,
they-
yeah.
but it was like I think it was one of those situations where they ran a Super Bowl commercial or submitted a Super Bowl commercial they knew was going
Just
to
for
be
publicity.
They knew it was going to be rejected just
Yeah.
so that people would talk about it. One of those people where it's like,
Right,
you
right.
guys are the
It's great
you guys are-
marketing.
yeah, it's like it's great marketing, but it's like you guys are the fucking worst. You
They
know
had
what I
to pay
mean?
no money to
Right.
get
It's
Super Bowl
just
space,
like,
pretty
geez, it's like it's also when it's like it's the oldest game in the fucking book. You
Yeah.
know, like just.
Right.
Don't give these fucking people this free market. Like you know what's happening here. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So, but
Well, I
they're-
mean, I've started to come into this thing where I'm like, it's not a big revelation, just something I'm kind of noticing more and more. Is like the more often you see a company advertised, the higher the likelihood that their services suck.
Yeah.
this is a good point. No,
Because
this
they
is a great
spend,
point.
like Geico comes to mind.
Yeah.
How many fucking mascots do they fucking have or need? Meanwhile, I had them for an insurance company for only a few months, and it was fucking atrocious. And trying to cancel took 3-4 different phone calls. I was like, I literally already switched off your service. I canceled online twice. I canceled
Over the phone.
I canceled,
you an
bought it
email.
again so that I could cancel
No,
again.
no.
I wrote you
I
a letter
canceled
in the mail,
through-
sir.
I canceled-
I snail
I
mailed
Sent
canceled
you
through
a
the website.
carrier pigeon with a cancellation message drafted on original quill.
I
Smoke
canceled.
signals coming
I
up.
canceled through the website, right? Because it says like click here if you want to cancel. It goes to this whole like exit interview basically. Then sends you an email and says, hey, you're not canceled. You're gonna have to reply to this email to verify all your details and then cancel. I go through that. It gets on the website. It's like, okay, you have to call us to cancel. I'm like, motherfuckers.
Sweet.
So there's
Yo,
twice
I
on the
hate
website
those sites,
and
yo.
3 different fucking phone calls to cancel. And I'm like, okay, so you have most of your customers just go, well, I've heard of Geico, I'm going to call them, and then stay with you because you make it too much of a pain in the ass to leave that they just get lazy.
That's what the
No,
trap.
that's
The trap.
not a-
They build so many layers for you
Yeah.
to get out.
Yeah.
Here's your point though about the worse your services are, the more you advertise, right? That's basically what
more
you're
the
saying.
other. I'm saying that if you spend if
The more you
if
advertise-
the more you advertise, if you spend that much money on advertising, especially as much as
Right.
Geico spends, there's no way you're putting that much energy into anything else.
So no, this is I think an
like an
interesting
overcompensation.
This is an interesting example.
chicken
I
or the
think.
egg, I think, is what
Okay.
you're talking about.
So,
in
oh
that
well, yeah,
sense.
but I
yeah,
think
go ahead.
I think this is an interesting example of kind of what you're talking about. So, and I just heard an advertisement for them recently, so I think it's good to throw out there. But the CIA. Have you heard advertisements in the last few years for the CIA?
yeah. Oddly enough.
Now, do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
ever hearing any
I thought
advertisements?
it was a viral thing for like a TV
There was
show.
a TV
Yeah.
advertisement that was really low budget, very bad
Yeah.
production values, and you were like, "Is this a joke?" And
That's
at
what
the
I'm
end, you saw
thinking.
the CIA.
Yeah, yeah.
There's radio advertisements now. Do you ever remember the CIA having to advertise itself? Now, why would the CIA have to advertise itself unless after running an international torture regime, they were trying to rebuild because their services were terrible?
Oh, see what you're talking
So
about.
I'm saying, why is the CIA advertising now?
And what you're talking about
can't
is,
recruit anybody.
Wait. What you're talking about is I have a separate theory about that. But what you're
Okay.
talking about is another point that I about the wary about being kind of paranoid of that is like when you find when there's a company you've either never heard of or you have no idea what they do and or you couldn't buy their products if you wanted to.
Right.
Starts advertising like you remember that. What was the one where it was like the human element, right? Fucking Dow Jones or whatever, Dow
yeah,
Chemical,
yeah, yeah.
Dow Chemical. There's like one of those things. You've never in your life thought, you know what? I'm going to Home Depot. I'm going to buy something that Dow Chemical
Well,
makes.
it's-
You've never
Well,
thought
it's more
that.
of
Now,
like, hey, wait a minute, you are fucking up everything.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, hey, you're
So
that
they
company
put
that's
out-
fucking up
That's what I'm saying.
everything.
When you see ads for those kinds of companies, like out of nowhere, it's like, oh, this is a PR campaign.
you've been fucking up.
You
You're
fucked
fucking
something
up.
up.
You
And now
tortured
you
the
want to
fuck out of
remind me that
people.
you're actually doing good for the world.
But now I'm thinking about the
BP
fact-
did it as well. BP also did that.
BP is the
Oh.
worst. When BP just went down to New Orleans and they just had all the local people like, well, now I can go ahead and go out and shrimp, and then you start reading reports and like worst shrimping season in
Yeah.
like fucking ages, and like shit is still quarantined off or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, ain't nobody buying this shit, yo.
Yeah.
Like, who is buying it? Idiots, bro. Idiots.
Middle America.
Clowns.
Well, now hold on. I,
Charlatans.
Who doesn't?
Fools.
Yes.
I wouldn't
Not
go
necessarily
that.
middle America, but it
Oh,
is.
come on.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't.
it's
No,
all over.
I don't
the
think that you
ones that
can.
do.
No, I don't think that anybody's buying any part of that, except for the fact that if you just weren't paying attention, they're ideally, if you
There
were
are some people who buy it.
if
Yeah,
you're just
which
not
is
even paying
America.
attention.
There's no reason that Fox News stays in business unless
The-
people buy it.
Fair.
low. I mean, like.
Well, but what I'm saying
it's-
is that doesn't.
No,
it
Fox
doesn't.
News is good. What are you talking about?
The idea is
They are
it's the
legit.
same. It's the
They are
same
legit.
exact. It's the same exact reason that Pepsi and Coke still spend money on advertising. You think to yourself, it's fucking retarded. We all know what Pepsi and Coke is, right? We don't ever need to see.
Let me tell you something.
But they spend it because if they don't, then Coke's going to ramp up their advertising, and vice versa. And you might one
So
day
are you
go,
trying to say-
wait, is Pepsi still around? Do they still make Pepsi? I can't remember the last time I've seen a Pepsi logo on a sports game.
Those aren't
So
in
it's
the
like
stores.
they
So
Basically,
do
what
it
you
to
said, is it
stay
just like a
in your-
perpetual gang war, basically?
Yeah,
You're saying
yeah. Well,
advertising is like a
it's
perpetual
partially
arms race?
that,
They're like,
yes,
yo,
yes.
them motherfuckers up the block just got a shitload of arms, son. We just gonna stand there and let these motherfuckers take over our territory and just shoot this shit up? Nah, son, we gonna stock up too.
Yeah.
We gonna get more drugs, more guns. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna buy all the fucking private equity? Nah, motherfucker. We gonna get our hedge funds. We gonna roll in this bitch. We gonna leverage everybody out of motherfucking job, okay? Ain't nobody gonna be employed in this bitch when I'm done.
Why to tell that to somebody?
What I'm saying, yes, absolutely that, absolutely gang war. I'm also saying that there's a public perception if you don't see something that you are used to seeing, and somebody points out that you haven't seen it in a while, you go like, they must have gone away. Right.
Well,
And
I mean, like
it's silly, but
it's
that's the idea.
especially, I think the thing too, a small addendum, if you will, to that theory is
Addendum.
is that if you're a well-known entity,
Fuck you! I want to make a song. All right.
good. No, do it. If you're a well-known entity, do you know what I mean? If you're very just ubiquitous already in society, like
a Mitch.
like a Mitch, if you or BP, you know,
Oh,
like a BP.
don't put me in the same sentence,
or
motherfucker.
too bad. Or
All right.
Or the CIA, you know what I mean? Like where you just have name recognition that is universal.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't need like an advertising budget for you is not for most people when they advertise and market themselves. It's to be like I'm introducing myself or like I'm trying to show you
new products to the
right.
market.
Like I'm trying to show you that
Public awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's some
That's
sort
all
of
it
like
is.
I'm going to increase awareness about you in some way, or like I'm increase awareness about myself and the things that I do. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't know about me because I don't exist on your radar. But if you're the
Word.
CIA, everybody knows you're on everybody's radar. So
Sure.
if all of a sudden you're like, hey, we're the CIA, be like, the fuck's up? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not introducing anything now. And that's why, like, your skepticism thing is like, I already know that the pretense of your appearance here is because you fucked something up. So, like, I can be very skeptical and dismissive of everything right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I am operating from the position, and I have to operate from the position that you're full of shit.
What was the guys, the two dudes? I can't remember their names. There was even an HBO documentary about them, where like the biggest kind of prank, if you will, it was more like exposing corporate malfeasance via big pranks, if you will.
Oh, the two guys.
Yeah, I can't remember their fucking names.
Oh,
Anyway, they
always do
did
the
this
fake
thing with
break
Dow
releases and
Chemical,
stuff.
where
Riffopolis.
Dow had
You know who we're talking about.
Dow had basically poisoned a town, like in a smaller town in Africa or something like that.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't remember the name, and I'm probably getting all the facts wrong. But the point is that there was a spill that was their fault, and they just were like, let's cover it up and fucking walk away from it. But like, meanwhile, people were still dying from overexposure and stuff like that. And so these guys purported to be, the CEO of Dow and the president of Dow, and got all the way through to like live interview on CNN saying, we're taking corporate responsibility. We're going to give them a whole bunch of money.
Really?
We're going to fix the problem.
That is awesome.
Right.
That is great.
Within like 20 minutes of that report, actual Dow was like,
They,
what?
Did they step up? What was the outcome
They
of that?
stepped up to be like, how dare these
Oh,
guys?
they blamed it on them.
The way that they pulled
That's
it was
good
like,
PR.
this was terrible. What they did was, how dare these guys give false hope to that town? For onesies. Then
Damn.
Yeah,
Yo,
right.
corporate America and corporate
Hold
entities
on.
will always crush your dream.
Yeah.
Number one, fuck you
Hold
for letting
on.
these
It
motherfuckers
gets-
think that we gonna
Finish.
save
it
them.
gets
How
so much
dare
worse.
You gonna die.
It gets so much.
It's not our fault that we poisoned you.
It gets
But
so
you
much
gonna
worse.
die.
You're gonna die
Here's
regardless.
where it gets worse. These numbers aren't accurate, but just I remember that one was higher than the other. So I'm just going to give estimated numbers for kicks. What they had said on the air is we're giving, I think it was $800 million, something like that, to them over there, right? Let's just say it was $800 million,
Which is nothing.
right.
Yeah.
So they said that's what we're
That's a day's profit.
So what
over.
Dow did in return, because now everybody knew about this thing that nobody knew about before.
Yeah, now it's public.
Oh shit, Dow, blah, blah, blah. Their stock took a huge dive because they were like, you're giving away $800 million? Why are you doing that? So Dow spent 3 to 4 times that much in advertising to be like, no, man, Dow is cool. The human element, Dow, baby.
Yeah.
Dow.
We're
And it's
going
like,
green.
you literally spent more money to not fix the problem
Right.
than to have just fixed the fucking problem.
And not only-
And I know the reason you did that is not just evil motherfuckers want to be evil motherfuckers, is because your lawyers were like, no, if we take responsibility,
Yeah.
then it's all comes down to lawyers.
Then
People
every
get
other
lung
thing
cancer
that
'cause
we've
of
ever
lawyers.
fucked up somehow comes in play. Don't
Yeah.
you
Now we gotta
understand
start paying.
how much we have fucked up forever? Don't you realize we have to run away from responsibility until the end of Fight Club happens in real life? We have got to burn
Right.
all the evidence.
Yeah.
No one can know how much we have ever fucked up everything, everywhere, forever.
So when you see a commercial that's like cotton, guess what? somebody died. Somebody got fucked.
Somebody got mauled
There's
by
like
a
a-
cotton gin.
More than somebody, a whole fucking town just got wiped off the cotton face of the
like
earth,
like a
man.
field was just being just reading by like
Became
a team of
self-aware
immigrants was just
and fucking
right.
ate them
like some
motherfuckers.
real new hybrid cotton became self-aware and just started eating their faces, just turned into flesh eating cotton or whatever. They're like, yo, we need to roll out the advertising budget. All right, bring out the 87 plan. Bring out the 87 plan.
My old Navy shirt ate me.
You remember
in my sleep?
We had the Southeast Asian debacle back in '87. We came up with a plan for this. We got it under wraps back then. We need to roll it out now. They can never know about Des Moines.
Another perfect example.
In Des Moines.
Another
Little
per-
arts and crafts studio.
They can never know what happened in Salem.
Another perfect example.
Nova Scotia doesn't exist anymore. You understand, Marty?
People came to the realization.
Back to the Future reference.
People came to the realization that our bodies, as a country, as a nation, we're getting fatter and fatter, and because our bodies have a harder time breaking down high fructose corn syrup, because our bodies go, oh, it's corn,
Right.
and it's not, it's syrup, and your body goes, oh shit, that was a bunch of fat, wasn't it? Well, I'm just gonna balloon, right? And there's government subsidies for corn farmers and things like this. So what did the corn industry do? They put out all these commercials like, people are talking about high fruit. It's just corn. Like, how much damage could it do? It's corn, baby. It's corn. Why are people talking about high fructose corn syrup like it's bad? It's just corn, baby.
I've been telling y'all motherfuckers for weeks it's just corn. You're trying to bring all this science and shit into my house. When
the
I
moment
say
you
it's
see
corn,
those commercials,
it's
you're
corn.
like, the people are dying
Now,
because
okay,
of your
best
fucking
example.
company.
Okay.
As is.
Got milk. Probably the best example of all time, right? Why the milk industry just come out? Do we know?
I have no idea.
Do we know why the milk
Some
industry all of a sudden
mad
just came
cow.
out with
Mad
got milk?
cow, man.
That's my
No, I don't
guess.
know.
I stopped
No.
eating hamburgers back in the day, B. And I don't think that's a far-fetched theory at all. I
What-
don't think
what
ever.
happened?
Do we know when the Got Milk ad campaign and mad cow disease really popped
They got to
off?
be covering up something.
Because listen,
I hadn't thought about
I
it until
listen,
just
no,
now.
I was talking
They
about-
gotta be.
There's no way. They were just trying to bring milk to the public.
Why would they do that? Fucking trying to bring milk. Milk isn't even a natural thing.
They fucking own the lunch line.
Hold on
I mean,
a second, dude.
chocolate or regular, either way, the got milk people
Strawberry,
fucking
kid.
Now,
win.
listen, I don't
all
know.
right?
My girlfriend pointed it out to me beforehand, but this milk is not a
makes
natural thing,
stronger
bro.
bones
Milk is
and
no, it
healthier
doesn't. No, it
bodies.
doesn't. Milk is not a
it
natural
does.
thing.
October
No,
1993.
natural
it does. No, not
Yes.
for adults. Is there
Oh.
any other adult creature that drinks milk besides human beings?
Yeah.
No. Who?
If you give them milk, they'll drink it.
That doesn't happen in the real world outside
If I put a bowl of milk down, this cat will lap it up.
Right, but that doesn't
That's
mean
true.
It's just he can't go to a store and buy it. Doesn't mean
that
he's not
doesn't
gonna
mean
use it.
that doesn't mean anything,
That's the
bro.
stupidest argument. I
No,
hate
it
that
doesn't mean
argument.
anything. No,
Yeah.
no, that's not true, though, bro.
No other creatures
Listen,
built
they're
houses.
Mrs. Cat just ate a Jack in the Box French fry off the table. That doesn't mean it's gonna seek out French fries
If he
in
could
nature,
order
bro.
them,
That doesn't
That's
mean
a
if he could go to Jack in the
corporate
Box.
plug.
Yeah. Let's get some sponsors on the show right now. Cats love Jack in the Box.
By the
fries.
way, Jib, you owe me $10.
Let's bring that. You don't have to guess that big head fucker.
No, no.
There's no. It doesn't. I'm just on the Wikipedia thing. It doesn't.
Of course
say
not,
anything
bro. They
about
bought
it.
those pages.
Now, but it's talking about
The milk industry, the biggest
be
company.
fair.
You going
It's the
against
Illuminati.
Big Milk.
The Illuminati is in
When
bed with the
when
fucking
Big
milk
Dairy puts its foot down, the game is over.
You know what? It did. It
Don't drink milk,
specifically.
people.
It
It's
just.
bad for
It
you.
specifically mentioned California
Fuck your
dairy
cereal.
farmers, and that could very well just be that California was like, oh man, we haven't made anything like in a while.
so is the Got
let's
Milk
get back
campaign
to let's
specific
get back
to
to making
California?
milk, and then somebody was like, no man, nobody drinks milk anymore, and then they
You know
decided
why
that-
there was a milk campaign? Because some dumb asshole in Ohio at one point was just doing milk bongs and got really sick. So they had to come out and fight against
Found
it.
him.
Just bringing it back around.
so we can blame the human
Look
race.
at that.
So the California dairy farmers were behind the Got Milk ads, right? Is that what we're saying?
Boycott.
Yeah, I mean,
milk.
it's what it says on the commercials.
So-
Paid for by California.
So they
Dairy
basically were
Farmers.
just trying to expand the market share. Is that what that was, huh?
Look, I don't know. I'm sure there's more to
Huh?
it. I'm just telling you what.
Tell me that's right.
I'm surprised that if
You think the story's as simple as that?
I don't.
But-
I just don't have more to it.
Or I don't
all-
know,
that's
just
all I'm
crazy
saying.
thought here. Maybe they were like, you know what? Milk is awesome, and we should get some celebrities to put like sweet mustaches on our faces and maybe advertise that way.
I'm pretty sure that was
Milk is a
hey,
weird thing,
no,
bro.
no. What
Now
that
listen.
is, that's people.
Now,
that's people who are like, listen,
can we-
my wife won't let me get her a facial. She thinks she looks funny.
But baby,
Let's-
look at
you know,
this.
it's like a milk mustache.
There's a study though. There's a.
Let me put it this way:
Molecular
there is no. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but the number of chicks who are into facials after the Got Milk campaign has risen dramatically.
I don't believe that's
That's a
correlation.
study we should look into.
believe
for
that's
I
sure.
will
causation
fucking. I'll
correlation.
bet everything I own.
That's
that
not-
if-
I don't
I
believe
guarantee
there's no
you.
science
The number of
behind it.
facials
I'm
went
not talking
up.
about the science. I'm not saying there's a correlation
yeah.
and causation. All right.
think
I'm
you're onto
merely
something.
saying correlation does not imply causation. I'm merely saying that as Got Milk campaigns and awareness rose, so too did chicks who enjoy a facial.
Yeah,
All
next
right.
time you give a girl a facial, ask her if she saw Got Milk ads when she was growing up. That's
I
not
don't
a,
like to think about what they were like prior to like 18, really.
Oh,
yeah,
see?
chick shows me a baby photo. I'm like, oh, I'm really creeped out. I can't. We're gonna have to break up.
just not into that shit.
You're gonna have to, I hope you didn't drink too much. You could be driving yourself home.
No,
in
no.
a minute.
I'll just say, milk is an interesting thing.
That's how we. That's how we put the kibosh on this. This corporate espionage.
Well, it's well. Like, I mean,
No,
I'm-
it's
what I'm saying-
fine.
No, but listen, there,
we haven't gotten into that subject ever, and I'm glad we
what
did.
corporate espionage?
Yeah, that was great.
No,
I thought it
but
was good.
there
I was
is
very happy
there have
about
been a
that
lot
whole
of
thing.
studies though of African tribes. I can't remember the exact findings though of like the study, like the tribes that have never really drank milk at all, you know, versus the ones that drink milk all the time in terms of like lactose and the
What about breast milk?
development
They
stuff.
probably drink breast milk over there.
Yeah, them titties hang down to the
Yeah,
ground. They've
for
been
sure,
sucking some
yeah.
serious
Oh,
titties. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I think I'm not. I mean, I think what basically is like in terms of like milk being an integral part of the diet. You know what we kind of think of now in terms of like milk and cereal
Yeah.
and all that kind of thing versus like you're fed on it like all mammals are, and then you're done. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier. Like, yes, you could put a
Yeah,
bowl in front of a
it
cat.
totally does.
It was like, oh, milk. I know what this is, but like, that's not my recreational drink, baby. I want some water. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
With a
man,
dish
milk
in.
is disgusting.
Everybody
if you're not
loves
also
water, bro.
eating something. If
Bro,
you just
everybody
drink
loves
milk,
water.
You know what's good? Milk on a hangover. It sounds gross as shit.
It
but
is.
Drink a
It
little bit
sounds
of
very
milk,
gross,
dude.
actually.
It like coats your stomach.
I don't believe that at
and,
all. I
it's
don't
not
believe
the
that.
worst.
orange juice.
Ah, see, it gives me the heartburn going on
Heroin.
in my stomach.
What's that?
That's it. Black tar heroin.
Oh, for a
Best things
hangover?
heroin, yeah.
yeah, you know
You know
what?
the problem is though, like
experiment with
you
that.
wake up in the morning and you're like, if
Yeah,
you're
it's gonna
all
be an
out,
experiment for that ass.
if you're all out, it's like, oh, now I gotta call people.
Right.
I just want to lay.
You know
in
how
bed.
you be trying to get over a hangover and you ain't got no heroin in your house?
Oh, that's the worst feeling ever. Oh. I like to stay a little bit.
Yeah, brother, preach it.
You know how none of your white friends ever got black tar heroin when you got a hangover, but somehow they got it when you got to go to work. You got things to do.
Shit.
My point, though, about milk was that I can't remember the research in the African tribes, but there are some very distinct developmental differences versus those who, like, you know,
I mean, I don't.
just saying. I'm just saying, bro. It's weird.
Milk is
weird.
one of
it's
those
weird to think about it because like milk
Milk
doesn't
is one of
really
those
exist
hilarious
recreationally
fucking.
outside of
Is
humans.
one of those
That's all I'm saying.
hilarious things that it's good. I actually have an article relatively related to this, but milk is one of those hilarious fucking debates that I don't know about you, but I never thought would happen.
I didn't either. My
I
mind
would've
was
never-
blown. I
as
didn't
a
realize we were
child,
having a big debate on
was unaware
milk.
of this.
Surprise, motherfucker! And it's happened.
If it's 7
Welcome
years,
to the Tempest.
when I was 7 years old, and my mom said, "Hey, drink your milk,"
Where's the board?
and then my dad had walked up and said, "Hey, just so you know, when you're an adult, there's going to be a whole debate on whether or not your mom was a real bitch for making you drink milk just now." I'd be like, "Really?" And they were like, "Yeah, there's going to be a whole debate on whether or not that was a good decision." And like we're still, I kind of love that there's like a divide. Who gives a fuck?
Well, no,
It's
this
milk.
is so
You're
everybody
gonna
cares,
drink
bro.
it.
Do you know how integral milk is? Now listen, we're gonna talk about big corporate espionage, right? Big cereals in this bitch.
You wake me
okay?
when you're done.
Big dairy, okay? You gonna tell me that General Mills is gonna sit back in the Great Milk Wars?
Yeah,
and
what
not
if the
go to war
cereal-
with a fucking commercial and be like, you know what's great? Milk. You know what's not great? Terrorists. Terrorists don't like milk. General Mills. You telling me that's not gonna happen, bitch? If Big Corn will do it, you tell me Big General Mills isn't coming out?
Oh yeah.
You tell me Big Kellogg's? Okay, Big Frosted Flakes? Big Count Chocula?
Let's not even get into all their specific mills within the General
Let's
Mills
not
family.
even get into the bottom shelf cereals that'll be running super packs
Shit.
supporting The General Mills.
Okay.
I don't drink milk because
People
I'm
who don't
given to
like
understand
milk are
I'm,
bastards.
I'm given to
Literally,
understand.
they were abandoned by their families.
I'm
General
given to
Mills.
understand that milk makes your jizz taste funny,
Teddy
so
facts.
I don't drink milk. That's my thing.
If you like milk, you're a bastard.
General Mills.
Yeah, it's all jizz for
That'd be
me.
the best Twitter
I-
campaign of all time, bro. We have people just riding in the street. You bastard! You are trying to take away my milk. That's why your family
Is that what
left
you do?
That
You just
fucking
drink
rabbit
milk?
is the
Huh?
devil.
You just drink milk?
Not me, bro. But I'm saying the Great Milk Wars. They're coming.
Well, I mean, where do you? Wait.
Arm yourselves.
And I'm
You're
trying to
going
figure out which
battle.
side are you gonna be on, Teddy?
He's on the chocolate milk side, of course, obviously.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's still milk, right? I mean,
I'm more of a strawberry man. I don't know.
Let me tell you something.
That's fair. Get a little Nestle's.
When the great when it
still one of
happens,
Yeah.
when it happens, bro.
The great uprising of 2015.
Yeah, I will be the one that looks and turns away from the camera and goes, "Begun the Great Milk Wars have." That will be me.
You can be Yoda.
Yes,
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
A little black
I'll be there.
Yoda.
Yes, I will. Well, I'll be a little bit bigger than that, but yeah,
Right, I got you.
but I will be. I think I'll be. I won't.
So you'd be
I will,
like,
I will have no allegiance.
Milk
to the
War's
Milk
starting.
Wars.
You know how be. And
Yeah.
then
I
yeah.
think as of right now, I have no real allegiance in the Milk Wars. I will just be very mournful in a wooden cabin that I built for myself somewhere before the war broke out because I had enough foresight to see it coming. And then I could watch everything from a hillside and weep mournfully into a barrel of moonshine that I have ginned up myself. It's a very elaborate fantasy I've concocted.
Clearly, all milk related. I don't drink
Mitch,
it. I
what
don't
side
drink
are you
it.
on?
I don't drink it because I hear it makes your jizz taste bad. So that's where that's to me that's a priority in my life.
Really?
I don't
Did you hear that?
like.
How long have you stopped? When
I've
did you
heard
stop?
that a lot
Did you
of
go cold
times.
turkey?
Yeah, when he was
Did you
like
go
12.
cold turkey on milk the
I wouldn't
first time
say
you heard that?
Wait, no, I wouldn't say that like I was.
Were
Woo,
you
milk! And
were
then
you like
one day,
eating
like,
a
went,
bowl
no,
of
no more.
cereal right then, and you were like, "Oh my god!"
This changes everything.
You just
No.
had Fruit Loops dripping slowly down your wall.
No, I heard it, and then
Get these Cocoa Puffs out of here!
Why do we have these?
why do we even have these?
Mom, don't you know my jizz will taste bad if you keep buying
Oh my god!
cereal?
I was talking about him as an adult, but not a kid. Oh my god, that's so much better.
I don't want
He's like
no milk. It makes my jizz taste funny. I didn't know that.
It's like, hey, fucking
I don't want to grow up with bad taste in jizz, Mom. You making me drink milk. I don't want to.
I promise you, I was talking about an adult Mitch. I was not picturing like some young
imagine a little young
being like,
Mitch.
Don't you know what I'm in store for? You
He's protesting the
devil
milk
woman."
line at school.
Throwing bowls at her and shit.
Get the fuck away from me with that shit, man.
Be like, I just bought that.
Bitches
box
ain't
of-
gonna want to suck on my dick. You
Oh
keep
my
feeding this shit to
God.
me.
Oh my
Your mom's
God.
like, you're still shooting blanks, kid. It's just powder milk
my
at this
God.
point.
Now go get me some soy and somebody to suck on these nuts, ma.
That blew my mind, bro. I really had an intense visualization of him as like an adult, like reading a newspaper. And then you
It's like Sunday morning.
and then you brought like out of like a fucking breakfast.
Wait.
It was like
wait,
a
wait.
breakfast nook, and he's like, "God down, jizz, damn it, oh!" And
Hold on,
now he's
hold
like,
on. Let's do a scene.
Oh, God, okay.
Who wants to play my wife?
Mike, you can play Mitch's
Mike,
wife.
you want to?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
down.
all
Mike,
right,
Mike,
all
he'll
right.
play
I'm
Mitch's
reading
wife.
the morning paper. We're at the
Okay.
breakfast table.
Do you these reading glasses?
Yeah. These are my reading glasses. Okay.
Did you just turn into David Caruso?
Give me a minute.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into character.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Let the scene happen.
All right. Okay, and are we ready, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Scene.
Here, baby. Here's your milk. Perfect. The cereal.
Here's your milk. Hold on a second. We're gonna stop. Hold on. All right.
I'm not an
Listen,
actor.
Listen. No, Mike. That's
Literally,
great.
I had it ready.
Yeah, he was ready for
I was
it.
right now. You're taking me out. Like,
sorry.
oh, can we get to
I
this?
stole your line.
Because I was really.
Are you ready?
Okay,
I'm
ready.
jumping on
All right.
lines.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Improv,
Are we good?
improv,
Okay. And.
Samantha. I just read the craziest thing. Milk. Makes my man stuff taste funny. Perhaps that's why you haven't been pleasing me orally as much. And I mean, I think we have to put the kibosh on milk in this household if I'm to get any more oral pleasure.
Well, okay.
I don't know. I'm terrible at that.
Damn, son, that was.
I made a
back-
pretty strong
pretty
argument,
good,
didn't I? Yeah.
pretty
I
good.
guess so.
Pretty
but
good.
That went over well.
Okay,
That's gonna be.
let's play.
That's how
All
I
right,
went.
Here we go. Now let's redo. You have succeeded against your wife very easily. Samantha put up very little resistance. Apparently, you have domineered her into a corner in your household. You've been very, very.
Well, I
Samantha,
imagine,
it's been 3 weeks since I've had my last glass of milk. I'd like to know, how has the man chowder tasted in time since?
Oh my
Still
god.
tastes bad.
This past fortnight. Oh, it's really.
nothing has changed.
I have also heard that pineapple juice is.
Can we really take a moment to talk about the fact that you would refer to your semen as man chowder to your wife? I
yeah,
don't believe.
yeah.
Is that
I have,
what you,
I have done that. Well, not to my wife, but
I was like,
yes.
yeah, but you married before you.
Man chowder, that's a good
I've
one.
definitely said man chowder many times. It's on my DVD even. I've been saying
Man chowder?
for many years.
That's fair. Okay,
nice.
now here we go,
13,
Mitch.
14 years
now,
now.
now you've succeeded at one half of the household.
Mm.
I will then play your eager son coming home.
I don't want to
From-
have this conversation.
Too
with
bad,
you. Oh,
motherfucker.
okay, all right,
Too
all right.
bad, motherfucker.
Okay, so
I'm
you're
coming home.
So I've adopted a black child.
No, I'm just a child, Mitch. You
Okay.
know that. You.
I'm black. That's why I was so good. You know?
I don't know where you get
Now,
that. I would love to know where you
first of all,
think.
hold on a second. I'm putting I'm black. That's why
There's-
I was so giving on the board.
No
That
black
is
woman
it.
would
I
ever
don't
give
know-
up an argument
I
that
don't know-
quickly.
I don't think
I'm
you know
sorry.
black
It's
people, bro.
true. It's
Yeah,
true.
I
a
don't
black
think-
woman would never give up an argument that quickly. Even if she fully agreed, she would still put up an argument
No,
somehow.
I'm just gonna hold it against you for later on in life. Don't worry. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's- you
No,
know
you're
that.
you're thinking of white chicks. Black girls fight
You ain't
right
never
then and
gonna-
there.
You ain't never getting nothing, bro. You ain't never. You gonna
All
die.
right, all right. So my son comes to me,
Uh-huh.
and he's excited to have his glass of milk that he has after school every day.
Well,
Okay.
you know, I'm.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to tell you why you should probably not do that anymore.
Okay. So ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Peter.
Hold on a second.
Oh,
Hey.
sorry. Okay. Yeah. Well, now your name is changing to Bobby. You happy?
He's getting the character over here.
Bobby, we need to talk about your milk consumption.
Just a second, Dad. I'm about to put myself with cereal. We don't have any bowls
Bobby,
in this house. I'm very
please.
bored.
Bobby, please. Listen to your father. I've done some research, and
Dad, there's no milk in the fridge.
I know there's a reason for that, Bobby. We need to have a discussion about your milk consumption.
Dad, I want to drink some milk.
I understand. When a man loves a woman, and he has an extra couple dollars in his pocket.
Dad, what does sex have to do with milk? I just want some milk.
I'm explaining that now, Bobby. He will sometimes pay a girl of a certain skin color on a certain street corner to welcome him into her mouth. And
Daddy, I'm very confused right now about
yes,
what prostitution
I
has to do
understand.
with milk.
Did we already have a discussion about prostitution?
Wikipedia is a hell of a drug.
Your father's also a heavy drinker. You should know that now, Bobby. You're predisposed to being an alcoholic later in life.
I know genetics.
I'm glad you've been doing your schoolwork, Bobby. It's very important. However, the more milk you drink, the less likely a woman will warmingly invite you into her mouth. And or when she does, she will have a negative reaction. And I don't think you want that.
So you trying not to sleep on the couch anymore? Is that what you're telling me?
That's also part of it. That's apparently your mother's already had a conversation with you about this.
It wasn't a long one though. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fast. I just told him, no, sorry. You sleep on the couch.
All right.
Daddy,
There
you
go.
know she lied right to your face, right? She ain't no happy at all. Can we get some Cocoa Puffs from the store, Daddy?
Son, you know way too much for your age. I don't like the sass.
Daddy, you ever heard about the Mayans?
I'm starting to think Samantha fucked Teddy,
That's just gross.
and I just noticed that you're not the same skin color as either her or I.
Daddy, you know how your friends be traveling through time and be fucking.
Oh my God, your father is Teddy! This is absurd. Okay,
Indeed.
so somewhat related to this.
Yeah. We could get away from milk here for a
Oh my
second.
God, that's one of the worst. Oh my God, what just happened right there? Oh, Nick Cage is hilarious, Daddy.
Good times.
I'm sorry, that's like the total opposite of what just happened between you and Mike too. Mike was like, okay, good, yeah, we gotta get rid of all the milk.
I don't want your semen at all near my face. It
There
just
was
tastes
there was a
awful.
discussion that popped up recently.
Oh yeah.
And here it is. An article that came up recently, I should say. Does organic food turn people into jerks?
Yes. A little bit. You know what? I thought about saying
Scientific
yes,
study.
but I tried to soft
Yeah,
pedal
you
it.
went a
So
little
Mike
bit.
was
You
Mike
went a
was
little
Mike
bit.
Mike went hard. I really was sitting here and I was like, I'm gonna say yes.
Gonna
a
need
little
a,
bit.
Gonna need it.
Mike,
No,
Mike went,
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Fuck all
Scientific
of
study that that it turns out there's a thing. They basically there's a bunch of things. I'm looking for the exact scientific word that they called it.
It makes
It's an
people
awesome
think you're
frame.
better.
them. Jerkosity.
Yeah. Yes.
It's basically it's a moral licensing. That's what it's called. Moral licensing. And the
that's a
idea
great line.
is
Yeah.
We can
I
put
like
that on the
that.
board.
Yeah,
We can put
yeah.
moral license.
Yeah, that's really nice.
moral licensing works also
gonna
with
use that.
with
You need to check your moral licensing right now, okay, bitch?
It's gonna become my.
You need to go to the moral DMV and get your shit re-regulated. You're gonna fail the test.
I was also actually there's an article from like 2 years ago because I remember hearing about this before and I was like, didn't they already do a research study on this? So I actually pulled up another one that says much the same thing, not about necessarily diet, just everything to do with say environmentalism. What they were finding is that when people do what they think is sort of publicly good, driving a Prius,
Yes.
eating organic food, adopting a puppy, things like this.
Don't you dare bring puppies into this, bro.
No, I'm fine with
You know
whatever.
what's gonna happen, bro. They're gonna riot in the streets.
All right. Anyway,
Not a
so
fan of puppies,
People get real on edge when puppies get introduced.
the point I'm just when they're like this is a rescue, okay? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like they
I went
get
to
a
the
dog.
pounds. He's got 3 legs.
This is the rescue, okay? I'm a really good person.
Yeah.
Those people
Soft feel like a dog
have
recently.
given themselves
Getting along pretty well.
not
Was-
like
was
I
a
shouldn't
hipster
say
walking
those
him?
people, but there is a phenomena whereby
They do shit to look good.
whereby people who will
That's all it is.
people will let's say go green. They'll get environmentally friendly, things like this, reusable bags, and drive a Prius.
I
and
all
rescue
of my
puppies.
billing paperless.
There you go. They will then be assholes because they're like, I've done enough.
Yeah.
Like I drive a Prius.
Yes.
I can shit on your wife. I mean, like,
Was that
I mean,
how
just-
it goes, really?
yeah, at the
That,
office.
I'm gonna start driving a Prius. I think.
My boss is here. He's shitting on me.
uh,
Yeah, I drive a Prius. Be sure to mention that on your phone call,
Excuse me.
Samantha.
Poor person.
Yes.
Better than you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prius.
I realize
we roll.
I'm not going to give you $1, but you should know I went to Trader Joe's today
So
and I bought all organic food.
helping the environment.
Yep. So suck on that, poor person.
I am going to vote for Newt Gingrich in the primary, and I'm going to drive to the polls in my Prius.
I don't think that's ever been said ever. That is a phrase that's never been spoken by anybody.
Tell you something, bro. South Carolina.
I'm
going
gonna
to
drive.
Fan of
I'm
the
gonna
Priuses.
drive my Prius.
Really? That's where they're
Priuses roll real
I'm gonna
deep in
drive
South
my
Carolina.
Prius and my reusable bags over to Arizona and kick out all those fucking Mexicans.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going
That's
to
what I'm
jump
gonna do.
in my Ford Focus Hybrid to go to see Ted Nugent live in concert.
I'm gonna jump
Hey.
in my Prius and take my guns to the range.
I hope when Ted's done chugging that beer, he recycles the can.
that goes in the blue bin, sir. The
Mr.
blue.
Nugent, I won't have it.
Once I make my monthly donation to Planned Parenthood, I'm going to jump in my Subaru go and see Ted Nugent.
Are Subarus supposed to be environmentally friendly? Is that where you go with this? Is that
I just donated to Planned Parenthood.
Oh,
Who the fuck
okay,
are you to
that's-
judge me?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I donated to the cause.
Right.
The girl's going to Planned Parenthood.
Yes, the moral licensing.
You know what's
though.
environmentally friendly? A donation to Planned Parenthood. You know what's not? You. Excuse me, I have a Subaru to drive. Vroom.
Yes, I realized I just ran over your cat, but I was getting 42
Wait.
miles to the gallon when it happened.
Don't worry,
And
I'll
yes,
So,
I know
mean,
that I backed up to
be
run
fair.
over your cat again to say this to you. And now watch me drive off and drive over your cat again. Planned Parenthood donation.
And I put my moral license above my license plate on the back of my Prius.
Yeah.
So
I
you
must
can
let
read it.
everybody
from
know
afar.
the bumper sticker.
Yeah, yeah.
My vanity on my license, around my license.
Greener
says-
than y'all.
What is it? What do they call it?
Than y'all. Holy shit, that's awesome. Greener than y'all.
That's well
That
done,
should be a
sir.
fucking country song.
Thank you,
For
thank you.
sure, man.
That's
Oh
good.
yeah.
Well
Thank you,
done.
Thank you.
Well done. Oh my God, that's brilliant. That's good. Karina
I
love that.
It's great because it's a theory that I mean it's a phenomena that you can notice happen a lot, and it's a suspicious thing where you go something's up. Like it can't just be that.
Now see, I see the
every like Prius driver that I've seen out there is also just conveniently an asshole.
See,
Like,
I see it.
but
Ethical
it turns out that's the thing.
consumers less likely to be kind.
And more likely to steal.
They are more inclined to cheat and steal. The study.
This
found.
is what it
Really?
says. This is.
I can believe that though, because the thing about human beings, I feel like, is you build a convincing enough facade, you justify anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel that you give yourself a moral license. Like,
I'll give you a perfect
I'm
example.
doing anything. I'm on the front
Let me
line.
give you an example of what happened actually in the study.
The world owes me something.
They
doing
divided
my
they
part.
divided 60 people into 3 groups. One group was shown pictures of clearly labeled organic food like apples and spinach. Another group was shown comfort foods such as brownies and cookies, and a third group were shown non-organic, non-comfort foods like rice, mustard, and oatmeal. After viewing the pictures, each person was then asked to read a series of vignettes describing moral transgressions. Throughout the thing, they were saying that the people who were shown the organic foods had a higher judgment ratio of like, yeah, that's bad, and you're an evil fuck for doing this, whatever have you. Then later, they said they were asked to help out a needy stranger, and how much time would they, devote to it. The organic folks volunteered 13 minutes. The comfort food, brownies, folks, 24 minutes.
Well, maybe those comfort food people couldn't walk away fast enough.
That's true. It's fair.
You're just not gonna hang out with somebody for an extra 10 minutes because you're full, son.
They got out of breath.
I ain't never seen nobody that full in my life.
They might have got out of breath.
Let me tell you something.
Now listen.
All I'm saying,
I'm only helping you.
Is this your Notorious B.I.G.?
Yes.
yeah,
I'm
on, too.
I'm only helping you because my people mover is being charged right now.
Yeah, my wheelchair.
So, but I'll help you just while I'm here in my people.
I don't even know.
In my people.
Like, I feel
mover.
like you have combined about
Nutter butters.
6
If you
distinctive
could- if you
historical
could-
personalities
if
together
you
right
could-
now. There's a little bit of Hannibal
if you
Lecter
could-
in you right now.
If you could just
Gosh.
hand me another package of
The
Nutter
nipple
Butters.
thing is very disturbing.
If
Little
you could,
sling
I'm
blade
just
on-
doing
There
this.
is some
Yeah,
sling
some
blade in there.
sling blade in there.
What else,
If you
Rivaldo,
could
do you hear
please-
right now?
If you could just hand me some Nutter Butters, I will be happy to help you and volunteer.
I get a hint of Winston Churchill.
I'm gonna need some
Yeah,
Nutter
I
Butters.
can see
A
that.
little bit of that.
Gonna need some of that.
I get a lot of.
And the organic food people sound like this.
Who was the dude?
And they're just not gonna. You know what? I would help you, but you need to pick up your fucking bootstraps.
Who's the writer that
And
Philip
fucking,
Seymour
I'm gonna get
Hoffman
in my Prius
played a
and
few
drive
years
to Trader
ago?
Joe's.
And Cody or whatever the fuck that movie was.
Yeah, no, like who's the famous
I need
writer?
to get some grain
Yeah, it was,
vodka and drink away my
Truman
sorrows.
Capote.
Capote, yeah.
Truman Capote.
Yeah.
I got a lot of Truman Capote.
Let me
from
get
that.
some Nutter Butters if I could just get.
And I get a lot of Nixon
some
actually.
Nutter.
I get a lot of Nixon.
That sounds like me.
This is all of my impressions.
Man has a voicemail I left.
All of my impressions, all at once, all for you.
That's when Mike's like rubbing his chest. He's like, I just want some Nutter Butters
That's
in
my
my stomach
stomach,
right
bro.
now.
That's my stomach.
I'm like, Mike, you got some Nutter Butters in your pecs?
rubbing my
Yo,
stomach.
yo, you guys
Listen,
got some Nutter Butters?
don't
or
pay
what?
attention to the hands, baby. Listen to the words.
coming out.
Feel the words.
Good times. So yeah, that's fascinating. I love science in general.
Moral
But I,
licensing.
But
those.
it's kind of like this. All right, all my roommates are like fucking all health nuts, right? They always like work out and eat right.
Are
and
you an
shit.
organic?
so they
fan? Do
rape
you-
No,
babies
I
on the
am
weekend,
not,
is what
dude.
you're telling
I am
me.
fucking the most unhealthy person. I don't give a shit what I eat. I just don't care anything about that kind of style. But they all do. And every time I eat something, they're always like, "You're really gonna eat that?
They turn into
Really?
jerks?
You're gonna put that? In
Did you
your
call them jerks? As this,
You know,
this article calls them jerks, bro. It's in the
Nah,
headline.
they are pretty much jerks though. I
Wait,
you guys.
Wait, that was a nice misdirection. You go, nah,
Nah,
they are
they
pretty
are,
much
they're
jerks.
pretty much
though.
jerks.
They're pretty
No,
much
no.
Speaking of
they're-
impressions,
they're good.
have I got an awesome video for you?
Oh, I heard
my
about
God.
this.
Gilbert Gottfried reads 50 Shades of Grey, which, by the way, not only do I love Gilbert Gottfried, and I didn't know anything about this book until today, but Gilbert Gottfried saying filthy things is one of my favorite things in the world.
Now, before we hear, we should probably set the stage for people what 50 Shades of Grey is, Mitch.
Okay.
Now, as a
I-
person who
I'm-
just found out about this new national phenomenon on the bestsellers list,
You or
know what
me?
it is?
You.
Both
You,
of us.
you.
You knew about this.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it
It's
referenced.
like-
I don't know all the
Do you know the
particulars.
history?
I don't know the history at all.
All right.
It's like bondage for our moms, right? It's like
Maybe
it's
for
in
your
that-
mom.
My mom's into that kind of shit.
But okay, Mitch.
I'm gonna
what do
need
you-
that number if you can write that down at the end of the show.
We got a decree here.
Yeah. No. Oh, you want to
I'm
decree
gonna
it?
decree here.
You're gonna decree it.
Yeah.
All right.
And now, another installment of Mitch Dissects Cultural Phenomenon 50 Shades of Grey.
That was nice.
Thank you, Mr. Teddy. And
Damn it, Nixon, get off the microphone.
There will be lunch
Get off the microphone, Nixon.
in the lobby. Okay. It started as fan fiction, Twilight fan fiction.
No
That's
way.
how. Yes, that's how it started.
No,
it started.
did- No.
Yes.
No.
I'm sorry. Were you really into 50 Shades of Grey until this moment?
Ah, burning all my copies. I like how we can just hear Mike laughing. Oh, no.
So it started as Twilight fan fiction,
yeah, for real,
and then it started to veer into like, what if they fucked, a little crazier than they
This
do?
is really Twilight
and then the
fan
Twilight
fiction.
fans were like, okay, now you're getting a little too vulgar,
Weird.
and so the author decided to just go a little bit deeper into that rabbit hole. And then decided that, and then it was taken down from a bunch of Twilight fan fiction sites. So they put up their own website, changed the names of the characters, and put it out as a book.
No, this is really Twilight fan fiction.
Yes,
You
it originally
got to be
was.
fucking
Yes.
kidding
So
me,
anyway,
man.
I want to play. Well, I'll wait till Mike is out.
So
of that.
really, all this shit is Twilight characters.
Oh, under tabletop.
It ostensibly, yeah. What the hell happened? There was a video already playing.
Are you shitting me? Is it on the other page?
No. This is the only one that has like a video on it. God damn it! I hate
Mitch.
shit that opens automatically when you try to click to the side. Yeah, what is playing? Hold on.
Little face.
It's probably something on the other page.
Is it this? Maybe. Is it some other page that I got open? Is there another page going on?
I cannot believe
Hold
that
on.
this fucking
You're a fan.
What the fuck is going on?
Mitch. What you got blasting right now?
I don't know, man. Hold on, I'll figure this out.
I can't believe this shit is Twilight fan fiction though. Like I'm stunned. I'm stunned. I
Are
really
you
am.
though?
I am actually. I am. I would have never seen this coming. Like I know there's all that fan fiction shit, like the slash fiction or whatever.
yeah.
Like I know that's a
Slash
thing.
fic,
Yeah,
yeah,
like I
yeah.
know that shit exists or whatever. But would you ever think that some fucking slash fan fiction? I don't even think this shit is slash fiction at all. But I think it's just fan fiction, kind of fan
Right.
fiction that used to be in like Usernet chat rooms and shit. You know what I mean?
All right, here we go. This is Gilbert Gottfried reads
Now this
50
shit's
Shades
on
of
the
Grey.
bestsellers list, bro.
I know, so I heard.
Audible.com presents 50 Shades of Grey, the erotic best-selling novel
gotta talk about where the
read
name comes
by
from, 'cause that shit does not
Gilbert
make sense.
Gottfried.
My inner goddess has stopped dancing.
The name comes from Christian Grey, but used to be Edward Cullen.
And is staring too, open-mouthed and drooling slightly.
Hear it the way it was meant to be heard.
Keep still, he orders, and slowly he inserts his thumb inside me, rotating it around and around, stroking the front wall of my vagina. No fisting, you say. Anything else you object to? I agree to the fisting.
The horrified faces
but
are
I'd
amazing.
really like to claim your ass.
Famed voice actor Gilbert Gottfried gives a reading that can only be described as sensual.
Holy fuck, is this wrong? But holy hell, is it erotic?
Let Christian Grey
Oh my
seduce you
God.
over and over again through the voice of Gilbert Gottfried.
But when he hits my clitoris, I cry out loudly, oh please,
He's eating a
I
salad on a
groan.
park bench. That's
Quiet,
great.
he orders, not taking his eyes off mine. He scrunches my panties in his hand, holds them up to his nose, and inhales deeply. His hands reach around and touch my breasts, and my nipples pucker.
Oh
at
my
his
god.
touch.
Holy shit, this is hot.
There you go.
I'm
So
scotch aroused by
good
that.
times, yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Gilbert Gottfried.
I gotta say, if the gig for reading the audiobook of that, I wish I had that gig.
So that's-
Even though I think that
Wow.
written erotica I would literally rather read fucking stereo instructions because to me, there's just nothing more fucking.
Not a fan of the written erotica, huh?
It's the most boring, terrible shit.
Literotica?
It's fucking
Totally
atrocious.
disagree with that.
Do you?
Absolutely.
You fucking read in on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
get
when
down.
your mind can wander and play the scenes out, that's
You know what?
awesome,
I can
man.
do that by staring at a wall. I don't need to read somebody else's shitty fucking
Now,
fiction.
when you say that you actually project images onto a wall, is that what you're saying?
Hi, I have a wall here.
That's a television,
that's
you clown.
totally a TV.
That's not a wall, Mitch.
well, listen.
That's a future wall,
Yeah.
but it's not a wall.
Future
Do you
walls don't
still-
count.
do
They
you still-
don't count.
All right. Do you still masturbate to imagination? You can rub it off to your thoughts.
Sure, yeah.
Still.
Yeah. You say still. I haven't been masturbating that long. So, yes, I can get it. I can get the business done if I need to.
It's a lot harder though, using your mind. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah.
Without
but,
anything else.
But I
guide you along
would
the way.
seriously. What I'm saying is, I would still rather look at an empty wall than read fucking written erotica. It bothers me. I'm almost offended it exists. It just. I wouldn't censor it, I guess.
What about
but
sexting? Are you against sexting? You want sex with a girl?
No, I don't like doing that.
Really?
Don't
You
get
basically
my
don't
God.
like any words involved with your sex, is what you're saying.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words. Don't tell me you're gonna blow me. Just come over and put your mouth on it.
Well, isn't the whole part like the build up to it, the sex scene?
No.
Oh, come on.
No,
That's
You're not a fan
no.
of the
such
build-up.
a turn
Element of surprise. No. I know. I
Bullshit.
seriously don't. In fact, I used to get angry like when I've had like girlfriends and stuff for like when they're like, "Ooh, tonight we're gonna." I'm like, "All right, no.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight we're not. Tonight
Oh.
now. Tonight we're not."
Absolutely.
Because
Now,
I don't
wait,
like
what about-
now. It's
now
now
what
it's
about
expected.
that?
No.
What
no
about-
part
oh,
of
So
that.
you don't like the pressure? Is that the thing? You're
No,
just afraid of the pressure?
I don't. I know. It's like you just took away any ability for me to sort of be any kind of spontaneous
You
or
can
anything.
certainly be
Are
spontaneous.
you a
just
fan of
'cause-
foreplay before sex?
Yeah,
It's kind
absolutely.
of like the
Well,
sex
now, how
the
can you not be
foreplay to the
spontaneous?
foreplay. Yeah.
Just because you know that
Yeah.
some sex is gonna happen doesn't mean you
Yeah.
still can't be spontaneous.
Absolutely.
That's a poor framing, bro.
I'm just. It
He's a
bothers
very
me.
romantic lover, I think. That's the-
I am.
It's very clinical. It sounds like almost, dude.
He's a missionary.
Spread your
only.
legs. We're going to have coitus now.
I will go down on you for 5.3.
I mean, I'm just saying.
will penetrate you now. All right. No, nothing like that. No.
That's what he's screaming into her vagina.
That seems like a very. It seems very.
Hello, vagina.
Please stop yelling into me.
On down.
I feel like it's very. I feel like it's somewhat restrictive though to yourself to think just because they're like, well, tonight when we see each other, or whatever, you're like, well, nah, I'm not gonna.
Yep.
Nah, I don't want to see.
I
you.
got rules. I got rules.
So what would ideally happen for you then? How is there any way to approach it?
He's
What if
like-
they want to build some anticipation? Do
Bring
you
a
not,
friend.
Do you not? Okay, well that's poor. that's very poor.
That's-
It's very poor.
You really want to surprise me?
No, okay, we're not talking about surprise. We're talking about like building.
Give up the
your
butts
point,
with
Mike.
surprise.
Your
That
point
is
was
a big
your point
surprise.
was about building up anticipation.
Yeah,
right?
that's all-
Is that a
that's
thing
what
for you?
sex-
Like you?
absolutely.
So you're
So you're into the written erotica as
yeah,
well.
I totally am.
Okay.
You enjoy that, like this is what's gonna happen. You like the walking out the
I like my
things.
mind to wander and play its own little games.
Okay,
And then when it finally happens, it's a huge build-up.
right. So the
then a
anticipation.
huge
So you're not a
explosion
fan of
happens.
anticipation, Mitch, is what it sounds like. Is what I'm saying.
Well, let's be fair. Every day is like an anticipation.
No. We're talking
No,
about
I
like
mean I do mean
different
it.
kind
Like
of
I mean it like to me it's always anticipation. Like maybe not.
this is a different
But
kind
if
of
I
anticipation.
find
you
out,
said-
but if I find out like for sure, hours in advance, then I'm just like, ugh. Like I'm
that
bored with
takes-
it. Like
okay,
I'm
for
like I don't
one,
want
That
to.
takes some of the pressure off to begin with.
Ooh, you're bored
If
with
you
it. How
know
you
you're
bored
getting
with it?
laid,
Nah, it
yeah.
bothers me. Bothers me.
Really?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's weird, but I can't really explain it. But I'm very.
You're
you
a
gotta,
man of not knowing.
I have this.
You enjoy the chase, if you will.
Yeah, to me, sex is very much like. This is gonna sound terrible. It's
for it.
very much
Hope you
about
didn't sandbag
basically.
yourself again, Mitch.
It's mostly just jerking off my ego, really, than anything. You know what I mean? So like, I need to feel like they saw me and they were like, oh, I gots to get some of that. You know what I mean?
See, was a sense of urgency behind it.
Yeah.
So if
Like
someone dilly dallies,
Or
He's not a
that
fan of that at
I
all.
did a little seducing and they were like, he has won me. He has changed my mind.
so
with
in
his awesomeness.
some ways, it's a weird
You know what I mean?
like reversal of a sense
don't-
where it's like if someone's like, I'm totally gonna like if someone was like in a few hours when I see you,
when you're
I'm
at
gonna
work.
rock the fuck out of your
You're
world.
sitting-
Like I am so just ready
I
and
ain't
just
your
like
pet.
I am just sitting there
Nope.
anticipating. My mind is going wild, thinking about
Yes,
everything that's gonna
absolutely.
happen. I'm gonna tell you, just I got crazy thoughts. I'm
Yeah.
just giving you the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. I'm just giving you
The
a
just the
little
tip never
window
works.
into
You're-
the
yeah.
portal of anticipation that's
Totally,
happening.
Yeah, you're sitting at work and you get a text from a girl, and she's like, "Tonight we're gonna be all over each other. It's gonna be amazing."
No,
You
no,
don't-
I
you
would
don't
say
like
that.
that?
Now,
Personally,
how
hold
does that not
Hold
show?
on.
Is that
First-
how does that
Hold
deflate
on.
your
First
ego?
and
Sitting at
foremost,
work.
I'm
here's
curious.
the
actually.
problem. First and foremost,
You're at work. You're not like
hold
building
on,
up
hold
to
on. First and foremost, starting from the get-go,
Cat-
when I'm reading, what's that?
Never mind. Go ahead. The cat just came out of the closet. That's fucking.
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
he loves it here. He's got cupboards and closets. He likes to.
I don't even know how he gets in there. Anyway, sorry.
I
threw
he's
you
got.
off.
Have
My
you see
bad.
the size of his paws? Right off
big.
the bat, it always sounds fucking silly. Like reading it, I'm always like, God, that sounds fucking stupid. Like so, writing it, I also feel stupid. So I can't say that any time I've seen it written and been like, yeah, it's time to, now I'm all turned on. Like it always looks silly. I'm flattered that they would like make themselves look like such an idiot just to try to turn me on. That's flattering. So that turns me on like egotistically.
Okay, good to hear that
Like you put
interpretation.
yourself, you've embarrassed the shit out of yourself.
Nobody's sex.
just to
Mitch
try to-
is
just
all
try
right.
Shout out to all of Mitch's future partners.
Yeah.
Future embarrassment.
What if she
No.
sends you a picture of her tits? Are you
Okay,
against that?
okay.
too?
No, that's
No.
absolutely arousing. But again, it's kind of more
No, no,
like
no.
It's in
you
the realm
just
of sex
embarrassed
thing.
yourself.
It's in the
Okay,
realm of
here's
sex.
here's what I think.
So embarrassed yourself.
Yeah, I like it when they humiliate themselves just to try to arouse me. Yeah, that's absolutely.
Well, I think it's less. I think like the
Oh, fine,
humiliation
embarrassing other.
factor I find is weird. I guess it's a sense of like you say like it's the stroke the ego. I guess a little bit like with the sex and the ego kind of being a bit tied in, and so
Yeah, yeah.
I would say that like I think it would be almost more in some ways.
Like I guess I tell them like you're hurting. You're like really you're only hurting yourself if you like if a chick fakes an orgasm with me. I'm like I don't know why you're. I mean. You're
Well,
just making it
that's a
harder
totally
on
different- that's a
yourself.
totally
No,
different
I'm
story,
as a
yeah.
for instance though, it's like you're only making it harder on yourself because like if you weren't having a good time, I'm gonna try harder. Like I'm here to amuse the shit out of you ideally. So if you're like this isn't really doing it for me, don't fake it. Just say like it ain't working. I'll either try harder or we can cut this short. I mean,
That's what
whatever.
I want to hear. Is I'm really enjoying.
You're
this.
gonna need to try harder.
Yeah, that's totally what I want to hear during sex. I don't care if she fakes it. Not all
But
girls
so-
can come. So,
So
it's like,
your first
Right,
thought.
right.
So like your first thought if you got that kind of text message that Mike laid out, your first thought again would be like you're embarrassing yourself, right, with the sex talk. But I guess that's the thing about like if you're doing that kind of thing where you're
It's
like you're
flattering
like
that they're still
comfortable.
well,
thinking
no, but it's
about
like,
me,
but
yeah.
it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you know what? Any kind of really like sex aspect where it's like dirty talk or like role playing or whatever, it is fucking silly. It is absurd.
Exactly.
But you have to buy in
Yeah.
beyond the silliness. Like if you just look at it on its face, yeah, the shit is silly. If you just like, if you distilled anyone's bedroom conversation
Oh, yeah.
into a court transcript, if you took a stenographer and just
You
took
can
a-
put it in now.
You know what I mean?
I'm about to come.
Right?
Slap me
Like-
harder.
right? Like, and if you took a, especially
My
like if
pussy
someone,
feels wetter than
people
a
were
wet,
role-playing,
wetness of
Or-
I
balloon.
think especially
Or
like,
try harder.
I think especially the kind of thing too, like
Just
you
for
try
this
harder.
couldn't fuck your way out of a wet paper bag.
But no,
is
like
not
less of
good.
that too. But I think it's more of like the anticipation what we're talking about. Like if you're role playing, it really isn't so much about like being very like, oh yeah, that feels like whatever. It's more of being like, ooh, like trying to buy into this totally different mentality because
Yeah.
you've got this.
All right,
this
let me go.
So
Let
I
me,
think, but I think like it is silly. Do you know what I mean? It's silly to pretend like you're
Well,
a
what
fucking
I'm saying-
doctor,
But you also
or you're
trust
something.
that person that you're playing
Right.
with.
So it's
I
one of
mean,
those things where it's like you can't.
Well, what I'm saying, okay, let's put it this way.
They gonna let the guard down, Mitch,
if
and
they-
you gonna just.
Yeah,
no,
just
because
go
I
in there
don't.
and be like,
You know me. I don't like to judge and make people feel weird for anything they're
Except for
doing.
when the
So I
snipers
don't
come out.
know. They can sext all they want, but
I'll just respond.
Just not.
I'll just read them like fuck this.
I actually,
will see you
I
later.
never know the
You've
good.
made a
I
huge
never know a
mistake.
good response. I never have a good response. But I look at it. I kind of ignore the words and I just go. I'm a thought that counts kind of person. So I go thought that counts. Thought is she was thinking about me and wanted to let me know
And
that
she's
she was
horny as shit
yes,
already.
and that she's turned on by thinking about me. That's all you need to know. I thought about fucking
But then you
and
play
I'm
up
turned
the
on.
fantasy. You're just playing up a fantasy.
But
That's
I don't-
that's all you're doing.
I feel silly. so I don't do it.
Yeah, bro, but I mean, you know what? Like, it's,
I know,
some shit
whatever.
is-
You can claim all you want that I shouldn't do that. And maybe
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't or
help 'em
whatever.
out like this
I'm just
and-
saying I'm not saying you should.
Help
He's
a
not
girl.
He's not a
I
fan of
think
the
it's-
pressure. The
I think
pressure's
it's interesting though, where it's like I think
gotta
it's
perform
because
better,
I think it's
and he can't drink
interesting
his
to
whiskey.
see that like everyone. I think it's interesting to see that line very starkly presented. You know, because it's like everyone will. I think most reasonable people will acknowledge that the line there is like, the thing that makes sex such a vulnerable thing, especially if you're within like a relationship and you're really trying to like open up with someone about the things that you like or whatever, is that like, yeah, it is kind of silly. Like some of it might seem silly to really get someone to buy it.
Let me go a different route for this.
Oh well, like I'm just saying.
But
so,
I'll tell
okay,
you
go
something.
ahead.
I'll tell you something. For instance, this is a revealing moment, but whatever. I've many times done the webcam sex, right? Where it's like, hey,
Jeez, you just got a real case of the olds there. I have many times done what the kids call the webcam sex.
That's right. I've Skyped the sex a time or two.
Honestly, I was just not sure
No, I know.
how to phrase it so that you'd understand what I was talking about. But
Your olds got through.
broadcasted mutual masturbation, whatever you want to call it. So it's
Wow.
like, hey, you rub on that,
That is
I'm stroke
geriatric.
on this, right?
That doesn't turn me on one bit.
Right. Well,
It does not.
this is not an erotic conversation. This is an informative conversation.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Besides, we already know you're more of a written word person anyway.
So the thing is, it's like, we're going back and forth. It's like a lot of eye movements and stuff like that. And I might say like, oh, you look hot doing this, and that's, sexy, whatever have you.
Typing with one hand there.
No, I'll stop, type, go back to, I type fast.
No, do you use lotion? Do you use lotion
That
during
is,
this on cam? Are you a
oh
dry?
my
Are you a
God.
dry
Yeah.
doctor?
Very
You're a dry man?
Listen, I have 2 holes.
that a terminology?
I have plenty of self-lube. I'm good.
I mean, I don't even understand what was just put together. Like, I literally don't know. Like, let's just
thinking
move on
acid
right now.
mouth
No,
eater.
we're moving
Are we
on,
doing-
son.
Move on.
We're moving on, son.
The point
We're
is,
moving on, son.
the point is
like
that,
to-
that like
some things you
that's
just gotta walk on,
arousing.
bro. You gotta walk
I'm
on.
not talking about that. The point is that
Talking to Mike.
it's arousing
bring it
to
down.
it's
What's the
arousing to like visuals, and we're having fun, and we might talk about like, hey, if we were hanging out, blah blah, we got a fucking person, whatever the hell. But the moment they're like, oh, what would you do if you were here, or like, talk to me about this, or tell me
Step
this.
outside of yourself in that moment.
You're more of a visual kind of guy. And that's all
It's just, I guess it's what
You don't role
once
play.
it comes to the fantasy stuff where I'm like,
You have to step. You have to
"Man,
like go
fucking-"
beyond.
And it's like I'm like, honestly, if it's not enough for you that the man staff is out at full attention, this beauteous,
you need me to do
gorgeous thing is happening, and that's not enough, then I'm afraid I can't help you.
Okay.
All I need is you. Why do you need more than that?
Mitch is not a fan of fantasies. That's all it is.
That's also true.
You don't role play at all in the bedroom, huh?
No, I think that's stupid.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I'm a little fan of that.
You're a role play guy.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
It gets boring after a while. that's all
I'll
I'm
be the
saying.
doctor, you be the nurse.
Is that
I'll be the
that's
boss.
That's your thing. It's
Sometimes you're just drunk. And you're like, I just want to push to the next level. I want to try some things
Now
out.
that actually sounds like a
That's-
very dangerous time to role play. When
No,
you're
that's
drunk.
the best. That is
I'm drunk
totally-
and I want to push it to the next level.
that's
I'm
the
a
best.
doctor.
No,
I'm a doctor. You're
all
a
your
patient.
inhibitions
Let's
go away.
Why does it turn into Fight Club? All right, like why are you taking? I want to take it to the next level.
That is the best.
Are you
time.
not entertained?
Are you not? It's
Are
Russell-
you not
That's
entertained?
Russell
Who
Crowe.
next?
I'm drunk and I want to take it to the next level. That's role play. I'm gonna throw this phone at the wall.
Oh, tugboat. Oh no, making movies, making. Okay. Fighting
right.
around the world. We'll take it to the next level. Well, fuck you and ass. I'll be Russell Crowe. You be a nurse off the dock.
That's
You want to
great.
fight?
That's
All right.
great.
So what if you do when you role play? What do you do? I'm the this and you're the that. What's
I
going
just
on?
like being owned during sex. I'm a huge fan of that.
Okay, so you're
You
more
are
submissive.
Yeah,
Okay.
See, this
Interesting.
would explain much of what we've been talking about. You should have started out with that. But
Well,
okay.
well,
What would it?
okay.
What would it
explain what?
Well, that
what
would
threat?
explain a lot about like the anticipation because
the
you
build
sort
up.
of.
That's not a
yeah.
submissive
No,
thing.
I don't
would
think so
say
either.
necessarily. No, I wouldn't say
No, but
that
I think
necessarily.
that you're more.
That's just like watching game for the big, or watching film for the big game. I think is just the sex scene, you know.
Yeah,
Sports
see,
reference now.
Sports, you got him. No, Mitch is
Yeah.
gonna no. He doesn't.
If that's what it,
Did
maybe
you
that would
see his
explain
face?
a lot.
Process that in real time.
He was like-
you saw
was
first.
like, "They watch film?"
First, you saw a
was
hint
like
of disgust
he was
when
like
he
the big
registered it,
game.
and then it was the confusion And then it
mostly
was the
confusion.
dismissiveness.
Not a sports fan
Yeah.
at all. Huh?
Well, 'cause
Yeah.
no, I guess what I'm saying is like, how is watching the big game?
No, watching film. You just like
Because
get
if
in-
Wait.
you're I get it.
We're having a problem.
yeah, you get it.
I don't
get
mean. I literally don't know what you mean by watching film. You don't mean
Well, you're
watching the big
scouting
game,
the other team.
like watching the TV
No.
for the big game.
Oh, he does
Is
not.
that-
You're too specific in your. It means if you're watching footage of your opponent,
Yes.
before the game that's
Before the
coming up,
sex.
you're studying them and knowing
So
them.
you're seeing
so
what
in the
she
sense
likes.
of you're studying what your partner is going to do to you in anticipation, because like when you're studying film, you're
That's
like,
why
oh
I fuck
man,
porn stars.
Yeah,
I-
no,
no,
but if
no.
you're like,
But
hey,
you're
babe,
like,
I'm
like
gonna
in the
eat your ass tonight, and she's like, oh no, then you're like, okay, I'm not gonna eat her ass tonight. So you know that.
Oh, you never tell them what you're gonna do. You just do it. Come
Well,
on, we
no,
all been
so,
there.
yeah,
Well, that's,
for sure.
I think that's the difference where you in the line of you, where you and Mike are. Mike is gonna tell him.
This is how I
Mike's
ended up.
gonna,
Hey,
Mike's gonna tip a little bit of his hand.
but this is where.
Mike's got a couple jacks, motherfucker.
I want to see how far I can push this.
Yeah,
tonight.
see, but then I've had situations where
I'm not even playing poker
I've had,
with you, bitches.
I've had,
I'm just gonna go.
Mitch is just gonna.
I'm
flip.
all in.
Mitch
Mitch
just
is
flips over the
all
table.
in.
Game over.
I've had partners. I've had partners
one just walking in.
tied up in blindfold, and I put live scorpions on them. We've been over this before.
God, what?
You see, now that's not something you can text somebody.
could.
Hey, so here's what's going to happen
Was she
tonight.
laying inside the pentagram we did
Now,
that?
now, Mitch. Now, here's what I will say to you. You could text somebody that you were gonna put live scorpions on them, and their imagination could
Gauge
run
your
wild.
response.
No.
It could run wild with the anticipation of what that will feel like, and then when it happens,
to somebody.
when it happens, then they will have. So I'm saying like that doesn't necessarily.
You.
No, you could.
You just have to
There's-
go for it,
It's
huh?
very different.
Yeah, because they got to be like, "What are you doing? Don't
They're
move."
two very different experiences, but
Like
one
she's
does
already.
not
So it's like you're
supersede the
doing.
other.
You're getting things going right, and then
Yes.
you pull out a little, let's say, rope that you just happen to have near the bed,
Just
and you
throw it on
have,
the bedstand?
let's say, rings that you attach to your wall so that it makes rope tying easier, and you tie them up
Can't
right,
do
and
that
she's
shit,
like,
babe.
"Ooh, I'm tied up. This is hot," and then you put a blindfold on, and in a moment that happens, she's kind of like, "Wait a minute, why am I blind? Oh, is this okay? He's gonna do something," and then you say, "Listen, you need to not move." And she goes, "Why?" And I say, "Because I am putting a scorpion on you, and if you move too quickly, it might get scared and sting you.
I
And
would
you're
fucking
allergic
kill
to
you.
bee stings, so I don't want to have to take you to the hospital." And then they stay real still.
And then you walk out the room and slam the door.
No,
and the
then
record
I
skips
then I
over
put the
and
yeah,
over.
then you put the scorpion on.
And
Then
the
you
opening
take
credits of 7 happen.
then I take the then I take the blindfold off, and they're just staring, scorpion, them and scorpion, face to face, like never before.
That sounds awful.
Oh, it's
I
awesome.
I would not enjoy that one.
No, that was that worked out really well.
Mike has put himself in those shoes, and he's like, "Nah, son, I'm out."
That's something that I would
Not
not
the game.
like.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't trust anybody to tie me up either, but I'm just saying if you
And
do.
aha!
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But that's me.
No, I know. I mean, that makes sense. I understand.
Nah, I mean,
it's,
it's
a
like-
difficult thing to trust
The
somebody.
point is that
to tie
I wouldn't
somebody up.
text if
True
I
story.
text somebody with that. Then
Then
the
you can't
moment I
do it.
tie her up, she's like, "Oh, this is the part where I get blindfolded and scorpion." goes on
No,
me."
they don't know that.
Yeah.
That's
If
how
I
ant-
text them ahead of time,
Mitch,
they would.
Anticipation works in the sense of like, just because you're like, "Oh my God, is it happening now? Is it happening now?" That doesn't mean that it's ruined.
Yeah.
If
Exactly.
anything, it's the inverse of a heightened sensation, because your mind is working itself in overdrive of like, oh, is it now? 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 And it's the opposite of a dulling. In fact, I would say, isn't that kind of what you're going at? It's a sense of like, it's not like to know what's happening. It
Yeah.
doesn't dull you.
It doesn't ruin the
If
experience.
anything, it serves as like a hyper catalyst.
Yeah.
Almost.
It totally does.
It's like if you were fucking like playing Mario Kart or some sort of racing game, and you hit that little speed pad and your car goes all fast and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Would you do it for a Scooby snack?
Awesome reference with Mario Kart.
Thank
I haven't heard a Mario Kart reference in ages.
Bow, bitches.
Bowser, I guess you could say.
Oh, boom.
Terrible
Nerding
joke.
out right now.
That's an awful
Nerding
joke.
out right now.
All I'm saying is,
Shout out to the
I
64
feel like,
heads in Riffopolis.
all I'm saying is, I feel like if you give people too much information in advance, you ruin the element of surprise.
think
And
so
I
at
think the
all.
element of surprise is. that'd
Well,
be
you're
sexy.
probably not going to text her and be like, hey, you know what I'm going to do is put scorpions all over
When
your
I
nose.
tie your
Now,
hands.
now
and
all
clap
over. That's
3
too many to
times.
keep track of. I'm just talking about one, but I'm just,
Just
saying.
one.
Yeah, I did. I mean,
Question,
I've done.
where do you get a live scorpion at around these parts?
Petco?
Wow, where the pets go.
Answer that one right away.
Yeah,
That's
there
gonna
you
be a
go.
Stumper.
I mean, I usually go.
Well,
to
what
this,
I do is I go down to the dumpster on 3rd Street. I knock 4 times. I holler at Marty, the old homeless crackhead, and I say, Marty, scorpion? He says, badger. And I go, scorpion. Then I get a scorpion, and then I got to find a badger to get out of the alley.
Badger.
You could also go that route.
You
No,
could.
but I'm just saying. To me, it's because it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's more dominant or whatever have you. But that's what I'm saying. It's like to text them in advance would just, I feel like that would ruin. Oh, I have something special planned for tonight. Things like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather that it's.
But isn't the mystery part of the fun?
Yeah,
But,
it would be
the-
like
the, like knowing it's gonna happen.
It would
but
be
when's
like
gonna
it would be
happen?
like
It's
okay,
the
as a
all-day
comedian,
adventure.
it would be if you knew everyone in the audience had already seen your exact act that you're about to do.
But then you make it different, and
Exactly.
they love it.
You'd have to make it different.
And then they love it.
Right, but if they'd never seen your act,
There's only so much
I knew
words
nothing.
can convey.
Isn't it kind of exciting when most of the time you're at a crowd and you're like, I don't know anybody here, and the comedians before me were totally different than my style.
Yeah.
And you get really excited
Yeah. No,
because
I
you're
love,
like, oh, they don't know what's coming.
Yeah, I love
know what
when
I mean?
I don't know the crowd.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly. It's that feeling
that's
of
fun.
like, I'm gonna hit them with something good, and
Yeah.
they don't know what's.
But how about the people
They don't
that
know what's in the Hume cannon.
But
The Hume flume.
the human race is not in full effect.
The
at that
Hume
point.
flume.
Hume flume is actually pretty good. I think
Yeah,
Hume
it-
flume's gonna
I used to be called
Load up the
Perfume
Hume flume.
a lot when I was younger.
What do you call?
Perfume, like perfume.
Perfume.
I had a bunch of terrible names like that. They
You
were
should
fucking-
really
they were
incorporate
awful.
Hume flume as some sort of. If you were a villain, you would totally have a
I
Hume
actually,
It's true.
I
You would
actually
have a Hume
ran.
flume.
I ran for president of my
flume.
junior
Like I
class.
was really hoping, like I read a president of arch
No,
villains.
no, for junior class president, and my slogan was "Inhale the fume, vote for Hume." And they kicked me out of the election because I had a picture of a dude smoking a pipe.
I was gonna say they probably were like, it's a marijuana reference.
I was like, you know what? That the slogan itself is not enough to get you kicked
Yeah.
off. And
The picture
there it
was.
is.
The picture was.
The smoking gun.
I had the
was.
same problem. Don't be a bitch. Vote for Mitch. And
Oh,
they didn't,
that's-
they didn't go for it.
I also had a
Not-
similar
Saw that
problem. Cracker motherfuckers, y'all motherfuckers better realize. Student council tenant.
They're like, I don't
I don't
it's
think
not a very,
this is
not a very catchy
no,
slogan.
It's not. Seems very angry, very inarticulate. We expected better from him.
No
Yeah.
ifs,
I
ands,
thought I was
or
gonna go with a rhyming scheme.
I
there.
got it,
Honestly,
I got
thought we were
it.
gonna do
Hey,
a
That's very
rhyming scheme.
raw, very primal.
Fuck all you
I got it.
assholes.
You ready?
Vote for
You ready?
Teddy.
Yeah.
Here we go. No ifs, ands, or buts, son. Vote for Teddy Tutson.
Oh snap!
That's good. That's good.
I'm good with slogans. If you ever run for past
Well,
president.
that's good. I think I'm gonna go
I
with
have
the
a very
angry. I think I'm gonna go
useless
with the
talent.
angry Freddy's
Yeah.
dead Curtis Mayfield
Fine,
70s
be that
heroin
way.
epidemic one. I might come back to the old Magic School Bus pun though.
I'll cut off your head and kick you in the butt, son. You
Yeah.
crackers better vote for
If
Teddy
I was trying
Tutson.
to rough office in Chiapas, maybe somewhere down south of Mexico where they just dump a bunch of heads in a
Listen,
discotheque.
neither here nor
Where'd you
there.
go?
I'm merely saying that written erotica is stupid.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That was really what that was all about.
And moving on.
So fuck 50 Shades of Grey, but
I can't
damn it,
believe
I
that's
love
Twilight
me
fan
some
fiction.
that's
I'm
Twilight
stunned by that.
fanfic.
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
The ladies like it, so you know, that's good. I bought my mother that book.
Because
for
ladies
Mother's Day.
have no taste in quality art.
you really?
I did.
Wait, stop. Did you hear that?
Hmm.
He bought his mother 50 Shades of Grey for Mother's Day.
It's true.
Well, that's good.
There's a lot in your voice right there where you just said
good-
that. That was really
good,
good. What did she say?
good
she's
present.
she said thank you, and she also liked the flowers I got her as well.
Yeah, you better get her some flowers.
I had to, and I got her.
Has she read the book yet?
I haven't asked her that much. I knew what
She's
it
not
was.
gonna volunteer.
Have you
I
read
knew-
the book?
I knew what. No, I did it on Amazon.
she-
Just delivered to her. You know, one of
Did
those
she?
things.
Did she
Did you
mention
know
it?
what it was in it?
I
at
knew
all?
it was in it. Yeah, but
Oh,
she
yeah.
she likes to read, so I thought that would be a nice thing.
Right, right.
You've got. I mean, you got to follow up on that.
I don't want me to call her now. But
Do
Mom,
you
did
really?
you fucking enjoy that?
You do.
I think you don't.
I don't think I want to know.
Yeah.
is the thing.
You have no
You
choice.
just don't.
You've already opened up Pandora's box by giving it.
Because
to
here's
me.
the thing. Over
if you
Thanksgiving
don't
dinner,
ask when you find out, it's going to be at the worst possible
She's
time.
Thanksgiving dinner. By the
You
way, Mike,
need to preemptively
love
strike.
that book you sent
I
me.
imagine she's a single woman. She's got needs.
You imagine she's
you
a
know?
single
No,
woman?
no, she is. You know,
Like,
she's got.
Wait, that was bad.
I love the I imagine she's a single. I mean, I may or may
I
not
want to
have a
delete. I
father.
want to delete all those parts coming up. Why is this live? Can you just delete chop this out?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, is he talking about his own mother hypothetically?
Yeah, this is getting really weird over here. The more I drink, the more.
Apparently, the
just
book
coming
has
out.
a terrible lack of editing. That's what I'm hearing. From
I,
the
for
chat.
one, am stunned
I read that male erotica and it was Hustler.
that a Twilight
No.
fan.
See, I think that's also what
haven't
fucked up.
you- okay,
Hold on, this
haven't
is I
you-
think what fucks
Here
me
we
up on
go.
the written erotica because early on I read it when I was like fucking 6 or
You
7.
read the letters of
I read
Hustler.
it letters to Penthouse.
Well, okay, letters to
Penthouse
Penthouse.
forums.
Penthouse forum
Yeah,
letters.
but how
And
erotic were those, right?
Not very. They
Really?
always sound like a douchebag bragging to his drunk friend.
That's
Even back
what
then,
it
I was like,
If they were,
I know
if they were
clearly.
real.
She's like, he blew.
I never
she blew
thought
me.
it would happen to me.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
was at the 7-Eleven just getting some Slim Jims. And 5 girls from the fucking women's volleyball team decided they were going to play fucking,
Oh yeah. On the
I don't know,
ski
pussy
trip, blah, blah,
face
blah.
mask with me for 6 hours. And then they introduced me
Some
to the
elaborate
twin sisters.
fantasy
Yeah.
scenario usually.
And
Nothing.
it's like,
nothing.
all right, A, that didn't happen, and B, you're a terrible writer, and C, what's arousing about this? Listen to some guy talking about how he got laid? And then when I read the women's written erotica, it's like it's way too detailed, and I'm like, you're I don't know. It's very like, and
When
then
a
his
women's
throbbing
are you talking-
cock,
are you
and it's
talking
like, all right, I
women's
get it.
erotica
You're,
or like
you're trying to
Harlequin?
use all your big, vulgar words all at once. Like pack as many, like as if you're getting paid by the cock, by the dropping of
I
certain
don't
vulgar.
know if that is how the contract works.
Paid by the cock.
If you look at like for instance Reddit has a sub forum called
by the
Sex,
cock, sir.
right? And then sex,
What kind of contract you on, Johnson? Paid by the cock, sir.
I get paid by the cock.
The whole San Fernando Valley is based around that.
That's true.
Personally,
True.
I think.
Well played, sir.
If you look at like Reddit, the Reddit sex sub forum, and it's like people will sometimes sex discussions, sex questions. I don't mind those, but when it's like me and my boyfriend tried this today, I'm like it's going to be the most boring fucking paragraph, and it's littered with, it really does seem like a 12-year-old who just learned how to curse, just trying out as many words as they can.
So
And
what
then
you're saying is
throbbing
you hate-
cock, wet
All right,
pussy,
I got
dripping quim, and you're like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm getting lost in a sea of
Linguistic garbage.
linguistic bullshit. Yeah.
You just hate female writers.
I hate erotic literature. The male writing sounds like bragging, and the women's writing sounds too flowery and really trying, like a chihuahua trying to act tough. You're like, oh, it's cute.
To each his own, sir.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And written erotica sucks.
Speaking of the grade level of writing, it reminds this is just something that just popped in my head as a blurb, but they came out with the grade level of the language of this Congress versus the last Congress. It's like dropped a full grade. Like the language level has dropped a full grade level in terms of just like intellect.
We're going here, are we?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying you just mentioned that, but it's just like funny to me where you're like the language and like how it sounds like a bunch of 12-year-olds, and I'm just like, yeah.
I
That
don't.
sounds about right. Like, I mean, like if you think about the House of Representatives in terms of what it was designed to be like, and then how it reflects the culture, I am not surprised at all in the 2-year gap that the representative grade level intellect has gone down. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not surprising at all. So I'm guessing. I feel like, do you feel like things get stupider every day? Like, I know
just
you,
think-
Mitch always likes
know-
to say that, like, oh, well,
you
the
know-
intellect arc is going up, and like people are
the
more
thing
smart. But I'm
is-
like, yeah, people
The thing
might be
about
getting
this,
more smart.
I think that we're just getting older, honestly. Like, I think so. Like, I think our parents thought we were fucking idiots. And we're thinking this next generation's a bunch of morons as well. That's all it really is.
Honestly, it's not even the next generation, bro. I think the previous generation is a bunch of fucking morons too. Like, there's just a shitload of morons.
No one's debating that fact.
But it's like, I guess it's a difference. Where it's like, Mitch don't tell me if I am.
I just think
am
we're
I getting this
getting-
correctly. But like, your thing is like, you said like the average intelligence, right? It gets higher and higher over time and so forth, right? People are getting smarter and so forth.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you said,
absolutely,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
my thing that I think is that like people have gotten smarter because they have had to deal with such rampant stupidity. Do you know what I'm saying? So like the people have gotten to get smarter just to keep the system afloat because stupidity has become so pervasive in so many corners that are so important. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, people might be smart, but like the people who get the very prominent platforms, fucking morons. Fucking morons. Kardashian effect.
I was reading up on. I was trying to find terrible examples of I've written erotica on our Reddit sex.
Okay.
So sorry, I skipped out.
What do you got? What do you got there?
I don't know. It's
We
a
got
lot of
nothing.
people asking
Nothing.
questions.
What other articles?
Unfortunately,
What other
so-
articles
What else
got?
you got?
Oh yeah, I got other articles. Yes, I've always got those. Well, I've got one that Mike shared on his Facebook like last
right.
week. Punk rocker Tom Gable
Oh, God,
to become
really?
a woman named Laura.
Oh, what group was this from?
Against Me.
Against Me, yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Against Me.
I've never really been a fan of the
I was
music.
like,
I've heard of them, but
I was like 15 when I got into them. Just been
I've-
fucking great.
I don't know any details of this, but I remember seeing this. This is a.
I thought it was
a little
interesting
blurb.
because I don't think I've ever. The only other time that I can think of somebody sort of announcing it, and it wasn't. It was a very much after the fact announcement. Was okay. I don't know what the hell is going on
That's
there.
Against Me right there.
Oh,
Oh, is
would
that them?
Yeah,
that would
it's them.
explain why
That
that was.
okay, I do
The
remember
song's
that.
called
I remember that
Stop. It's a
song.
good song.
Okay.
They
So-
have. They're like,
What's the Wachowski brothers? One of them.
yeah.
One
yeah.
of them.
But they-
converted, yes.
yeah,
One of them
She
changed-
didn't announce
changed.
it ahead of
So
time.
afterwards,
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. It
No, there
seems-
was some announcement before that they were going through the process. I think
I think she'd like. I don't know. I felt like she'd.
it wasn't. It was not a post facto. No, I
Okay.
remember it was like they were in transit.
Yeah.
I mean, she.
Yeah.
I guess it is now a she, but I don't know the name. But
It is now, is she?
yeah, I
I'm
think
kidding.
so.
I know it's tricky.
Damn you, Mitch.
I know. I know. It's tricky. I
but
thought it was
so-
interesting because I don't. It's not very often that. I guess when you're high profile to some degree,
It becomes more.
I feel like you have to kind of go like, P.S.
Yeah, that's
Stop
what's gonna
calling me
happen.
Tom.
Yeah. Which sucks is because he's like a man's man. All right, like my thing is, he is.
Are you
like,
worried that he's not going to be a woman's man?
No,
a
no,
man's
no.
woman.
Like he came out of left field with it. Like if it
Don't
was.
wanna be no man's woman. Sinead
like-
O'Connor, shout out. What's up?
He's just
Now,
all-
what do you say when you? What do you mean when you say he's a man's man?
Like,
what are your definitions?
This
of that?
dude is just
I mean,
like
look how
very-
manly he
he's
is.
political. This dude
I
just
guess,
like
I don't
plays
know.
shows where he would just go on stage with acoustic guitar with a bottle of Jack, just be like, I'm gonna fucking play the show until the bottle of Jack is done.
Right.
Just sit up there and like if you listen to his voice, it's very raspy. Like you would never think in a million years that he wants to be a woman.
Fascinating. Now you say this. Now we go to the article in which he states that
He's always felt
has
that
felt
way.
disconnected from his body
Yes.
since he was a child. And quote, growing up, my experience with transsexualism was nothing but shame. End quote.
I can see that. Though.
And then quote, for me, the most terrifying thing about this, talking about he has a 2-year-old daughter with his
Yeah,
wife. It
yeah.
says he is not attracted to men and will still be married to his wife Heather. They have a 2-year-old daughter. And then he says, quote, for me, the most terrifying thing about this was how she would accept the news, but she's been super amazing and understanding. So I think it's fascinating to hear you from a fan perspective, and I guess you're a longtime fan of Against
Yeah.
Me, right? For you to have this connection with him, and you're like, man's man, like coming on stage with the Jack or whatever. And this dude, since he was a child,
Yeah.
has been like, I am a woman. Most
And
likely,
he's
Like,
gotta
I am,
deal with it
and,
here.
But it's fascinating that like you know, like imagine being him and like not only are you disconnected from your body, but like you know that you are struggling with this thing that maybe you might reach a place
Yeah.
where you're gonna pull the trigger on totally changing your gender, and yet you've got fans who are
Yes.
gonna like one day he's already played out this thing that Mike is thinking about
Yeah.
Right,
psychologically a long time
it's
ago.
a super selfish reason that
But
I don't
it's-
want it to happen.
No, but it's
That's all it
it's
is.
less of that. But like it's interesting to hear you verbalize your psychology and to think about
My thing
that
is, like,
he was
who's,
dealing with
like-
that as like a kid. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, it's
but-
weird to see the disconnect come full
I get
circle.
that, but like,
guess.
who's like your favorite like artist or your favorite like singer? Like someone that you
Mike
like
Patton.
really like.
Mike Patton,
I don't know who that is.
Faith No More, Phantomus,
All right, cool.
Peeping Tom.
Now, if he was like, I
Mr.
want
Bungle?
to be a chick out of nowhere, you'd be like,
Lovage?
what? Like they came
It
out,
wouldn't
like,
surprise
left
me
field.
at all because
Probably
Mike
with
Patton's
him.
really weird.
Yeah,
But
but like if he wasn't,
I mean, you know what? Here, I'm having kind of
if
two.
it was like
I have
if it was
kind
like
of.
the lead singer of like
I have-
Jody
I have kind
being
of
like,
two-
I
I
want to
have-
be a chick, you'd be like, all
I
right,
have,
Okay,
I
now
get
here's
that.
something.
I got two thoughts on this very quickly. First and foremost, this he's really manly, blah blah. He goes acoustic
I mean, I
guitar
don't
jacket.
know him
No, I'm not
personally.
saying whatever. I'm just saying to that point, it could very well be as you find in these situations. And part of what he might even be saying in the article is he felt like he had to overcompensate.
Right.
So there's that one. And then the other side of it is that, and this is just because it goes back to what we talked about last week about the law in where they could switch genders. What was that? Argentina. In Argentina, you can just switch. You can take up a gender that doesn't exist if you want. Willy nilly, the government is like, hey, whatever, we don't care. We'll recognize any and all genders. We don't need extra paperwork. You can call yourself whatever you want. And it's a thing of like, oh, he was a manly man. And it's like changing gender wouldn't necessarily change that. And I'm not, by the way, judging you for this. I'm merely saying that that's a common thing. It's like when celebrities were coming out like as gay, there was that same kind of like, wait, he chugs cock, but he seemed so manly. It's like, but I feel like,
the whole
and
John
that's
Travolta
the well, no, I'm merely saying that that's the dichotomy that we face is that we're attaching gender,
the idea
to,
of masculinity,
to inner strength or whatever have you.
Yeah,
well, it's
because there's no such thing as masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not.
What I'm saying is, I'm not attacking anybody. I'm merely saying that, for instance, masculinity is much like the no true Scotsman fallacy. Is real men do this and real men do that. You've never met a real man, and it as a dude, it is a weird personality situation that you have to deal with just going throughout life of like, living up to your father's expectations or society's expectations. I can't do this. I'm a man. Men don't wear pink slippers.
Emotions are the biggest thing about that. Well, I think that's the thing where it's like,
oh, I have to be masculine. I have to be manly.
Well, it's the thing. It's like it's
a lot of pressure.
I think the big thing is like, and this is it's sports, but it's not. But
go ahead.
But no, I mean, what I'm saying is you've got a sports background, and I think this
yeah.
is something that you can relate to in the sense of like now as someone who is very disconnected from sports and doesn't really do that, but you experience it firsthand. So it's not like you're just been someone who like
they're just boring to me.
Right, you're not. It's not like someone who's been like their whole life been sneering at sports. You know what I mean? You're not that kind of person. But Junior Seau, longtime NFL player, very well regarded, very Hall of Fame. Killed himself like a shot to the chest. Killed him in the chest. In his home. And this is like a Hall of Famer. He's one of the players that like other players, if they had to point to as like he's like one of those older, longtime veterans everyone looks up to. So it's like. It's no different from a musician or any kind of arts community, community where like someone who's like a comedian dies and everyone's kind of like kills themselves and they're like, holy shit, like it's a very wake up paradigm shift kind of moment.
Richard Jenny.
Right. So you listen now to a lot of these football players in particular because of all the science with concussions, and there's a lot more dialogue about in terms of holding players out of games and injuries and stuff, and what kind of constitutes a man and manhood, and if kids should grow up playing football and stuff. And there's a player, Brandon Marshall. He's a wide receiver, but he wrote a letter after Junior Seau's suicide where he talked about, and he's one of those players who for years has been, he's dealt with anger issues. He's gotten a lot of incidents and stuff. So he's been in therapy, and so he opened up about his process. And what he talked about is that he was the only male, I believe, in his therapy group. And that was a big reality check for him. And so one of the things that he came to realize is the sense that as a man in the culture and society that we grow up in, you are denied a sense of emotional legitimacy in the sense that you are not permitted to say, I am a man and a human being and I have emotional hurts and needs, and they require acknowledgement and they have validity, especially if you are on the sports competitive athletic track. That's like a double whammy.
Yeah.
So then you put these players in this incredibly insulated hotbed of machismo and emotional neglect, and then they're done when the only world that they know shatters, and then what do they have to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then someone like Junior Seau, you're like, he had a situation a couple of years ago where he had domestic assault charges with his wife, and he tried to drive his car over a cliff.
Yeah.
Like he was in a fucked up place, and then he shot himself in the chest. Which, I know how people say suicide is the cowardly way out or whatever, and that's a totally different discussion. But in the sense of being someone who is dedicated enough to being like, I'm going to end my life. I once tried to drive a car over a cliff. I'm going to take a gun and hold it up to my chest and kill myself.
Yeah, well, he did it so they could study his brain.
Right. But that is a level of we're not talking about cowardice anymore. There's a level of calculation behind.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
You can say that there's a cowardice there, but you have to acknowledge that it was not just some sort of I'm tired of life. Do you know what I mean? Like,
there wasn't cowardice he had the life. He was living by the beach.
That's why it's interesting that you then in turn get someone like Brandon Marshall, who's this notorious hothead, coming out and talking about emotional neglect and how what do you do as a culture and a society where one of the major cornerstones of the culture, football, has been held up for years and years and years, and an integral part of it is teaching men that their emotions are not valid. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, their emotions are. Football's a
No,
hugely
no,
emotional
they're
game.
not valid though,
Bullshit.
because emotional expressions outside of football, in terms of being like that, are you saying that? Do men feel like they can express themselves as emotionally and not be called a pussy or a bitch or a sissy?
I guess you're right there. I mean,
Okay, outside of football. So that's his whole point, though. So, like, yeah, in the context of football, you can express your emotions. But then when you're 31 years old and your career's over and you have to live a life and raise a family, what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to shoot yourself in the chest with a gun because you can't cope emotionally with the world around you.
Culture shock.
No,
He's used to,
but
like,
how many
playing
football players
football all
have
the
that?
time.
How many
And
suicides
what
have
do you
we
do
seen?
afterwards, though?
But it's
They don't know how to cope with life outside the game.
right
That's a
because
whole
they don't
different-
because they grow up. How young do kids start playing football?
What, like fucking 7th grade?
And if you
6th
grow up
grade?
from 7 years old and you
Yeah.
and you legitimately hurt, right? There's like I was listening to one of the old episodes with Josh Waldron, and he was talking about how he was done with football, and he was like he's saying like, I wanted to tell my mom I just am tired of getting hit by people bigger than me.
Right.
But he, like, his mom thought that he was being touched
to me,
by a coach.
To me, the only example you really need, as far as like internal like pain and running away from it through violence, would be Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a motherfucker who went through some serious shit, picked on by everybody, and all he wanted to do was fucking hang out and play with pigeons.
Right.
Yeah. And then some kid fucking broke one of the pigeons' necks, and I think from that day until maybe 5 years
gonna
ago,
slaughter the world.
he was like, I will kill anybody who says the wrong thing to me.
So it's one of those things where it's like, and it sounds somewhat aggressive to say, but I think it's very factual in the sense that women have a level of emotional superiority within our culture, in the sense that when they go through a hurt or a trauma, they can expect someone to look at them and say, what's wrong?
Yeah.
It's your theory, Mitch, that you always talk about how if a guy is at a bar looking sad, no one gives a fuck about him.
Absolutely.
And if a woman goes to a bar and looks sad,
true.
everybody in that place is going to try and comfort her. And that's the problem, because that dude's emotions are just as valid as hers. And why do we have a culture in which he can go to a bar and no one gives a shit about him? And not only do they not give a shit about him, but they look at him and they think he's weak.
You know, because men are taught to like drown their sorrows away.
Right.
That's what we're
Exactly.
taught.
And that's where the sports comes in.
Don't let anybody see you cry.
Right.
Well, that's
And,
that's what it comes back to. Again, the masculinity. That's what comes back to. Tom Gable switching genders.
right, to bring it back.
Is that kind of the same thing? It's like
I'm just saying it
he's
came
not
out of-
he's not a weaker person. Or
I'm not
whatever,
saying
you
that.
know?
It
No, I'm
just
not
came-
saying you
It
are.
just came out of the left field for me.
Right.
I've just been a huge fan, and when I found out, I was like, I don't know what the fuck to say
But
about this.
no, but in fairness
Like, I was
though,
just-
I
how
mean,
many?
your remark was very brief, and it was like, I don't care what his gender is, against me rocks. And I just thought,
Yeah,
that's
no,
a,
I'm a
that's
huge
a good
fan.
way to
Yeah.
take
even
it.
even when he gets, I'm good job for him. I'm coming out of a selfish level where I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not-
want this to happen.
No.
Like it just came out of nowhere. He wasn't like some pussy or some like
But
guy
see,
who
again,
showed
but see,
his
look,
ass.
but look how the
Yeah, okay,
but
whatever.
No,
Fuck
no,
it.
Mike,
That's
no,
what he
it's not a
was,
bad,
though.
no, Mike, it's not a bad thing though. But it's just the point of like, look how ingrained it is.
Had
for
you
us,
not
though.
said that, we wouldn't be able to have this conversation.
Right.
Yeah, but
You
he
see?
wasn't okay. He wasn't the one that go up there and like sing about like his feelings and stuff.
Again,
I understand your point. I
Yeah.
understand your opinion.
It's nothing bad, bro.
understand
It's
your
just just fascinating though, where it's like,
I just don't want to do it for selfish reasons. Is all it is.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
just very.
I
I
just
just want to
think-
hear more records because I fucking really enjoy this shit.
but
I'm
what
that
if the
bad.
what? But here's the thing though, I would say though, like, what changes about the records now? Do you know what I mean? Because the
voice.
same well, yeah, his voice is gonna change. That's
His
fair. He's
voice
going
is
through hormone
huge.
treatments.
His
Okay,
voice
that's
is
fair.
fucking huge.
That's fair.
I've never heard it.
That's a very
Is
fair
that-
point.
maybe I'll play
Let's
that
play a
song.
little.
Play
let's
some
play a
older
little.
stuff,
Let's
yeah.
play. Let's
He's
play a
got
little
that
against me here.
raspy voice.
So is that
Hold on.
kind of your
that
primary
didn't
thing? Is
sound
like,
very,
what
like-
is the
hold on,
band
hold
going to
on.
sound
Yeah,
like? Is that kind of
go-
your first
Hold
first
on,
thought when
hold
you
on,
heard
hold
it?
on,
What was
hold
it?
on, hold on.
What? It's like, yeah, it's a good
It's
song.
advice
Is that
Tom
him?
Gable
That
has
is.
some.
To be fair, that doesn't sound
No, go to like Walking
If
to
it was-
Solanas
if
is my
it was
favorite
like-
song by
Is there a
them.
particular song we should
like
listen
Peter
to?
Steele.
Yeah.
I could understand.
Like Walking to Solanas
Band
is like the
Against
best
Me
song.
says he plans to take hormones and undergo electrolysis.
Well, that's not
so
a
he
band
can
at all.
Yeah.
That's a British gentleman.
That's
Yeah,
what
no,
it sounds
I know.
like.
well, they just show a guy singing. I don't know at what point the guy talking
His body
shuts
as a
up.
child
No, but I
and suffers
support
from
him. I mean,
dysphoria.
I don't understand.
I think it is very-
The thing is, I don't understand as a man that I would ever want to be a woman. I've never like that's never crossed my mind. Like I really want to be a chick, you know. But I don't have to understand something to support it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't think that. I don't know.
Do you ever have one of those things where like there's some kids who like want to grow up and just be like something weird and inanimate.
And
All right,
that's
what's a
fine.
good what's
Like a
a
fire
what's a
hydrant.
hardcore song? Thrash Unreal.
Thrash Unreal is a good song. That's a good song.
Is that a good one?
Yeah.
Against Me is best known for the song Thrash Unreal.
The older stuff is way
I mean,
better.
I'm good.
It
So
used to
that-
be
so-
like him with acoustic guitars and just
So
rocking
now,
out hard as
so
shit.
now they are.
I'll burn you. I'll burn you a cassette, bro.
So is
I'll
the
make you a
band
mixtape. I'll
is the
burn you
band
a
going to
cassette.
play on
I'm good,
as
thanks.
they?
They
as-
are. They're doing one more show in California, which
So
I got
now
tickets
once
to
after
already
he- after he-
before his sex change.
After the train just goes through, are
He's
they
been-
going to come back as the same band?
they
with him?
haven't said anything yet.
So I mean, I would imagine those bandmates. Though,
Have
like,
you ever
that's-
have you ever seen Hedwig and the Angry Inch?
No.
Oh, that's a great movie. You got to watch that. John Cameron Mitchell, the director, writer, and lead actor in the movie, used to be it started as like an off-Broadway rock opera,
Yeah.
and it's about a transgendered lead singer. Pretty much, the whole movie, it's just more or less this is a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like a reveal, but she goes through the whole thing as a woman. Pretty. But I mean, the vocals, not for nothing, don't sound altogether that different from what I was just hearing, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
There's
well,
a few parts where she's a little higher pitched, but
I mean,
the other-
I'll still support him. I'm totally down for it. And
the other-
I respect what he's doing. If he was like, I'm gay, but I don't give a fuck if you're gay. I don't care about that kind of
Here's
shit.
the other thing too that I
you're
think.
literally just talking about the voice. That's what worries
I'm
you.
just a very. I just hate. This is gonna sound really bad coming out. That's what it's gonna do.
Now
I
you
just
sound
don't.
like me.
I just don't like female musicians. Just never been a fan of them. Just never liked them. I just don't know. I don't prefer them.
See, it's
Not that I'm
weird.
saying don't do it.
No,
ladies,
it's-
ladies of the human race, you guys can be whatever you guys want to be, or be whatever you want to be.
That's funny actually, because I've always had a very big. I've always been a big fan of a lot of female musicians,
Really?
like
Ditto,
Yeah Yeahs
ditto.
and Karen O. I've always been a big fan of her.
Yeah, no,
And
yeah.
that, but like, so I've always noticed that I've had a.
But are you like bumping that shit like when
Yeah,
you're
bro, I
driving? or
bump
just,
the
like,
Yeah Yeahs all the time,
Yeah,
son.
dude, I have a
Yeah.
shitload
the
of.
fuck out of the
I was
Yeah
just
Yeahs.
singing Sinead O'Connor earlier.
I don't- yeah, I know.
I love the hell out of.
I've always enjoyed a lot of female artists, though. I've
Like
noticed
I'm a
that.
fan of like Alanis Morissette.
The only thing about
fan
female musicians is
Tsunami
that
Bomb.
when I'm singing along, I'm like, I can't hit that note.
I
But other
remember.
than that-
If you remember the jam back in the day, Meredith Brooks, bitch.
Hold on.
You remember that song? What is this? What's going on?
This is Hedwig. Doesn't sound that feminine so far as that goes. Certainly not compared to, like, again, Sinead O'Connor, which would be a very, very high pitched. But I like, is it Leaky Line?
Leaky Lee, bro. It's actually Lukey Lee. That's the Swedish
Fucking-
pronunciation, but
I
everyone
dig
calls
the
it
hell out
Leaky
of
Lee.
From Real
Lukey,
Housewives.
no,
of,
no, don't you dare insult the good name of Lukey Lee like that.
Hold on,
Don't you dare insult the good name of Leaky Lee.
I dig the pants
Shout out
off
to
this
Leaky
song.
Lee. Bro, no. Sadness is a Blessing. It's a good song, but youth novels, oh my god.
I like how you did that. You were
Leaky
like,
Lee is fucking
youth
phenomenal. No,
novels.
don't even.
Leaky
Don't
Lee
even.
is
Leaky Lee
See,
is
I grew
she's
up
tremendous.
like
She
listening
is
to
a
L7.
tremendous,
L7 was
tremendous.
I'm a big fan of
like
them.
3LW, like Cheetah Girls, something like that.
Yeah.
Big fan of those. Big fan of those, huh?
He just made Disney Channel references, Mitch. He just made Disney Channel references. That's what I'm here for.
Cleopatra.
I was like,
Cleopatra.
I was started. I was
Come
like,
here and help you.
maybe. I was waiting for you to go like to somebody I went to or that I knew about, but no. L7. You've never heard of L7?
No, I have. I know 3LW too. Play some of that.
I assume that's a Disney Channel thing.
No, that's more urban.
Oh, okay, a little bit more urban.
Totally urban.
That's
what all the kids in the hood
I
listen
assume
to.
that's Disney Channel as well. No, it's black people, Mitch. That is.
Yes,
It's Black
okay.
Disney, so it's called Nick Jr.
Oh.
I mean, hold on.
What,
Like
what-
broomstick. Hold on. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Awesome shit.
Portishead?
Why the hell, yeah.
I used to dig on
Love
some
the hell out of
Portishead.
Portishead. Yeah.
Portishead's the shit, man.
Love me some Portishead. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Music's music.
Yeah,
My only
I
different.
agree.
It's
But
difficult.
I do know a lot of
difficult to
guys
sing
who like
along,
I don't fuck
But
with a lot
I
of
think
female
it's just
artists.
like-
I mean,
personal
wait.
opinion.
So then, how do you feel about female comedians?
See, I don't want to go there, but
Oh no.
if you've noticed, I hope nobody's ever gonna hear this.
a
When
lot of people are gonna hear this, bro.
yeah, when you if you notice this,
Sorry,
when-
Mike.
I can't hope that people don't listen
Yeah,
to
I
our
know.
show.
I hope they
mean,
do.
I'm
I know.
can't say that to you.
But it's gonna sound awful. But if you notice,
Tell the people
whenever-
what you feel.
I just don't. I've never liked a female comedian. I just never think they're funny. Not saying I don't respect them for what they're doing.
I would say it sounds like you don't.
No, it's totally two different things. Respecting someone and not liking them are two different things. All right, I can respect what you're doing and your art and your craft. I just don't have to like it. I don't have to like everything, but I can respect things.
I know, but I mean to just be like shut the door on an entire gender.
Well, give me one that's good.
You want me to name
Terrible,
good female
terrible.
comedians?
No,
Paul
you don't
Poundstone,
have to. That's
Sarah
this is coming
Silverman, Maria
awful.
Bamford.
This is coming awful. This is coming off terrible.
What was that?
But-
I just saw her special last night on Comedy
You
Central.
know-
It was really
you know my
funny.
thing with
Jamie,
female-
it's killing me. Oh, it was
No,
really.
my
I've
thing-
only seen her once. So
My
it's
thing with
really good.
female comedians is a lot of them are very attractive girls. Okay, and I think if you're gonna be a female comedian and you're gonna play like, oh my god, I never get a date, but you're hot. I'm like, bitch, I'm not gonna fuck you later.
Here's
so
the
why
problem.
fuck do
Here's
I
the
care
problem.
about you?
Here's the problem. Is that you're because I understand where you're coming from on that,
This is all
but the
coming out
problem
wrong.
the problem with that is you're attacking two things they have no control over.
Their hotness
their
and-
looks and their gender, they have zero control over. So, and it's unfortunate for hot chicks because it's like if they go like, oh, I'm not hot, and they try to downplay it, then everybody's like, why are you fucking lying? If they live it up, then it's like, why are you bragging? Nobody wants to hear about you and all your hot activities. They're fucked either way.
I think.
What are you gonna do?
I think here's the other thing, though. I think
people
I
would
think
argue that
a
about,
little
like,
bit
again,
of what
Sarah
I
Silverman.
think a little bit of
Yeah.
what gets at, and I've heard that criticism before too. And I feel like what really is underneath it is the sense of like, what else do you have to talk about beyond your looks?
Yeah, I think
that's really it, because it's
Alright.
like, listen, if you're some girl and you're just up there and you're like, oh, guys think that I'm attractive or whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, all right, fine. Do you know what I'm saying? That's fine. What else? Like, what else exists beyond that? And
Sure.
I can respect.
But I think as a male, like watching a female comedian, we like to think that we might have a shot with.
No,
her.
I don't know.
All right, I think so. Oh,
don't
I
have
totally
that.
do.
I don't have that at all.
Oh,
But
really?
I don't have that.
All right.
I'm
I'm
All
not
right,
gonna.
but then-
I'm half and half. On the one hand, I don't think that just because they're a female comedian. But if it's a girl that I want, I would already be like, hey, I would like to have sex. But I think that a lot about females.
Yeah, but then you hear her say,
and then if they, the thing is, if they're genuinely funny, then I'm just terrified.
yeah, no,
I'm terrified because
when they're hilarious, you're like, oh my! I've seen some great female comedians.
but you haven't.
No,
apparently.
I really said earlier. I'm not a fan. Okay, being a fan and seeing things are two different things. Those are two different things, man. Just because I don't prefer that doesn't mean I'm not like I've never seen any good ones.
Wait. So this is where I'm confused because you said
You gotta be able to separate the difference, man.
Well, I mean,
That's all it is.
Maybe we're getting into semantics, but you're like, I don't like them, and
It
they're not
seems
funny,
like
and
what
I'm not a fan. And now you're
saying.
like, no, but I respect them, and I've seen hilarious
Yeah,
ones.
I have.
How does that
How
not
is
equal that you don't like?
So you don't have.
I just
know,
don't
it's
prefer
weird.
them. Okay, if I have like options to go see a male or female comedian, I would pick the male. If I had options to go see male or female band, I would go see the male.
Let me put it out like this. If somebody was like, all right,
Two
I've
tickets.
only got one ticket each. You can either
Same
go
time.
see Maria Bamford or Carrot Top. Which one are you gonna pick?
God,
You're gonna go Carrot Top because it's the dude?
Oh, see, that's a terrible fucking.
Well, no, I'm curious
actually a very
because
good
you,
example, I
you
think.
specifically said
a good
if
example.
I have a choice between a male or a female, I'll pick the male.
Oh.
I'm just wondering how far you go with this.
Carrot Top all day.
Okay, well that's fine.
Well, I'm in Vegas. I want to party in Vegas.
No, what are you not? Yeah.
Carlos Mencia or Sarah Silverman.
God, well, I would do Sarah Silverman.
Okay.
No, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, motherfucker. You gonna
Dang.
see Carrot Top over Carlos?
You're doing bad
What?
guys.
What?
Give me
What?
some good gentlemen.
No, you don't
Give me-
get no good people.
Give me
You
some
go
good
get,
gentlemen.
You go see
Again,
Carlos.
just trying to find.
Oh my God, you gonna see Carrot Top? Oh my, what? Wait, he said he's gonna see Carrot Top, right? He gonna see Carrot Top. You gonna see Carrot Top?
And he
over-
wasn't going to see
Carrot Top's a
But
great
but
comedian.
he'd pick Maria Bamford
Dude,
over.
Can't deny Carrot Top.
To be fair,
So
I'd
funny. Dude's
pick
had,
Maria
like, a
Bamford
fucking,
over
like,
Carlos
20-year
Mencia as
career.
well. I'd pick Maria Bamford over Carlos Mencia.
I would pick Maria Bamford over Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just.
So why you getting
I'd
hype?
pick Sarah Silverman over Carrot Top.
Well, that was
Although I
the
do want to
option.
one of these days. I do want to see Carrot Top, but
Do you?
yeah, just to see.
Do
I
you?
don't like hate the guy, but I mean,
Do you want to see a man mauled to death by a grizzly bear?
I would like to see that as well.
Damn
yeah.
it, Mitch, you're not
I
helping.
mean, I'm sorry.
Dude, I'd watch that too.
Damn
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
you are not
Now, a
helping.
female being mauled by the grizzly
Okay,
bear, I'm
now, damn it.
I don't know about that.
Depends. If she goes
Sure.
a couple extra pounds on it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I
Is she
think that
fat?
Can you
those are
hand me a
good.
soda?
Those are
Sorry.
good examples, though. I think it's a good example. Carlos Mencia, Sarah Silverman, is a very good example. I feel like
I don't think so. I think if you're
it's
like
real good.
Sarah Silverman versus like Louis C.K., who would you rather pick?
No.
Yeah, no, they're both at the top of their careers.
But you could actually,
Carlos Mencia,
a lot of
come
times,
on.
you could see both of them in the same night.
But if you can't,
Carlos Mencia is still.
Well, let's
a
say
top
you're at a
draw.
show. You're at a show. I'll put it this way: you're
Okay.
at a show. You watched a few comics, and they say, "Okay, we got 2 comics left. They're both gonna do half-hour sets. First up, Louis C.K. After Sarah Silverman. Do you leave after Louis C.K.?
well, I'd be mad that he opened up for her.
I'm just really.
No, but I would watch both.
Damn.
Because if that's
No,
the-
that's what I'm saying.
I
Would you leave early?
I'm not saying I
Do you
wouldn't.
go? I don't like it
I'm-
so much that I'm gonna leave early.
I'm not saying I wouldn't watch her. I'm just saying I prefer the male comedians over the female comedians. Like 9 out of 10 times.
Is it? What's going on, Rick?
Nothing. I'm not saying I hate them and they should stop. I'm not saying that at all.
No, I guess that's the thing. Is like
I think you're allowed to like not like something,
I'm not
but
saying
yet
you're-
respect it.
I'm not saying you're not
Personal
allowed.
opinion,
At
bro.
no point am I
It's
telling
personal
you.
opinion.
I didn't at any point tell you that you weren't allowed to like anything. I was merely trying to clarify your position, and I'm confused by it. And I think that it's unfair to say, well, this thing you have no control over, I'm never gonna like your art because of it.
I never said that.
You did.
Oh, maybe that came out wrong then. That's why I prefaced it with this is gonna come out wrong.
No, you said I don't enjoy female comedians.
I don't.
Okay, so because it's something they have no control over, you're not going
vast
to
majority
you are
of
not
them.
going to enjoy their art.
I've seen some really funny ones, and I've seen
Name
some,
a
like,
female comedian you actually enjoy.
Oh God, you're like fucking. You know what's her name?
Poor Mike.
That one. I
Just
said that.
fucked. Just totally.
I'm
fucked.
gonna get laid by so many female comedians after this show.
Yeah, you know who's one of my favorite.
I saw this really.
one of my
you
favorite
guys know
recent
her,
female
this
comedians.
black,
would be,
this black. I don't know her name at all. She's this black comedian that we play with sometimes.
that
I
really
don't-
narrows it
yeah,
down.
I don't
mean,
know, but she's got some fucking hilarious material. She's this joke where it's like about a guy that's like, if he doesn't pull out, she's like, how lazy you gotta be, motherfucker, to not pull out when you come inside me, you lazy motherfucker. And it's a funny that joke. I can't do it, but I don't know her name. She's fucking great.
I would imagine that you cannot do it.
All right,
You've never
thank
been-
you.
You've not been.
I'm
Pulled.
just gonna sit. I'm gonna sit back for a
it
second.
is. It is a
how
tough.
do you feel about black comedians?
Well, I'll tell you what.
How do you feel about someone pulling out from inside you?
My boyfriend doesn't enjoy it.
It's a good.
Oh,
It's a
that
good.
could be- I
do not know who you're
Normally, I don't
about.
get into a topic this late in the show like that, but I'm glad it came up. So it's good.
Now
It's
we're
good.
in. Now we're
It's
going.
good. It's
Oh
good
my God, I
open.
can't wait to see Carrot Top.
We have to close out the first half. I don't know if anybody wants to hang out for bonus, but we got to close out at least the first 2-hour chunk.
Well, Mike, where can the people find you?
What you got coming up?
They can find me on the old Facebook
Yep.
Okay.
with just type my name in. I guess to find me there.
MikeHume.
I'm playing.
M-O-U-S-E.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. F and Hume. I have a total of 15. Count them. 15 followers.
Now is that EFFIN?
That's what
Hume?
Yep, that's
All right.
me. So that's me. I'm playing the Ice House this Saturday, which I'm really stoked about.
Nice.
And for the members of the human race that stuck around, if you tell me the code word, I'll get you in for free. The
Oh,
first
shit.
4 people, the code word will be. Let's do dark.
Mike Hume hates female comics.
Yeah, I hate female comedians. You tell me that. On Facebook or a tweet or a text or just tell it to me. You get in for free. To
What
the
I
Ice
really
House.
like is that the code word was spontaneous. So yeah, the promotion be's like, I'm gonna wait to fill out the big part of it till I get there.
Yeah, I hope a female comedian tells me that too. She's like, I want to see you,
geez.
but you hate female comedians. I'm like, you're in for free, girl.
How'd you know?
You know.
You
what
must have
I'm
been hanging out.
at. I hope it's that black.
I
chick.
Do you have
Appreciate
any anything else on YouTube or anything?
I got YouTube, but it's awesome. Just check it out too.
Mike Hume.
Yeah.
Like how I sold that one.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
So
awesome.
I just hope you're on YouTube
yeah.
somewhere.
Plug it in.
I am. No, that was the first time I did the jack off bit, which I was really skeptical about.
And where can the teddy bears
You brought
catch
that
more
back.
of the more Tutson?
Oh man, you can catch me in the streets, running them, just staying alive.
Well, let's see, you got your Twitter. You got like 5 Twitters now. Shit.
Yeah, I got a couple Twitters. Got a Tumblr. Got a Tumblr account.
Tumblr,
I'll let
just
your
in
boy-
case.
Stepping up.
Teddy
Tumblr,
Tutson.
blog, website, 3 Twitter accounts, Facebook, 2 Facebooks.
Yeah, find me in the digital frontiers. I'm out there. I'm in these digital outposts running them bitches.
Shows coming up.
No,
Okay.
but maybe.
Well, we'll reconvene next week and figure it out.
He's also
like
shooting a skit called Apps. Gonna
I
plug
am,
that
I
For the
am.
hit website Banana Hammock.
That's right. Yeah, with Mike Hume.
Now, just to check, does everyone in the skits have to wear a banana hammock?
Absolutely not. That's the name of the,
Okay.
that's the, name of the company. That
I'm
we're
just
at.
checking.
But maybe
Did
they
you
will
start it while you
indulge.
were drunk with Justin DuBois one night? Because he's a fan of banana hammocks. That dude.
We go way back.
Yeah, he's a big fan of the banana hammocks.
Mitch?
I got a few gigs in June coming up.
Nice.
I know I took a little time off from all this moving and setting up the studio and such, but yeah, I got first week in June. I'm at Sardo's.
Sardo.
Well, we have
Porn
another.
star
Well,
karaoke.
thankfully, we've got another show before. We had another episode before that show, so
They
I
do
can.
shows there?
I'll give you the exact title or date later. I think it's the first week in June, it's Wednesday in June. Yeah. It's like a great place for comedy.
It is a good place. I like
Yeah.
that place.
I still haven't been to the Porn Star Karaoke, despite hearing about it for a decade now. And then later in June, I'm at the Palms, not in Vegas, the Hollywood one. It's called Palms something, but everybody just calls it Palms. And I'm always like, you want me to perform in Vegas?
I was like, I'm down for that,
Fucking
for
hell
sure.
yes. And I don't have to follow up with, will the whores be provided? Or do I have to bring my own? Because the answer is always, yes, they will in Vegas.
Fair point.
That
Fair
is right.
point.
I don't know if you guys want to hang out for bonus.
I'm interested.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. That goes for you as well?
We'll
Ted?
go, yeah, we'll go.
A little bit. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Back again next week. Teddy, feel free to play us out.
Good night, Riffopolis. See you bitches later in these streets. Running.
Thanks for listening to Straight Riffin'. You can catch all past and future episodes of Straight Riffin' on the official website riffin.net, RIFF